Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Day 4, Championship Monday here at the 2023 United States National Snooker Championship. We are live at Embassy Billiards in San Gabriel, California. Semifinals are about to start momentarily. David Burney in the booth with you along with Christian Youngers. It's going to be an exciting day because we're going to find out who will be the champion. Stephen Wong, the only one that's hosted the title, still in it, hoping to repeat as being back-to-back champion. But he's in tough against Romil Azmat, looking for his first U.S. national victory, as well as on our other table that will be predominantly featuring this morning, CCU coming from Washington State, going against another man from Arizona, Darren Taylor. So referee Dave Daly has done the coin toss, and we're about to begin here. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Definitely let us know where you're tuning in from. If any comments or questions, let us know. Frame 1, best of 7 to begin now. I think there's going to be a lot of excitement today, just as much as we had last night for all you that tuned in. It was a thrilling match between Darren Taylor and Renat Danka. Definitely a match that easily could have been a final, but it was only a quarterfinal match. So that just kind of tells you just the quality of players that we have in this tournament. And that's early on, so whoever I think gets in first, it's going to feel good. Just get that arm going.
Yeah.
Good to hear people putting their support out there in the stream. Nice to see that Roberto's turned in from Glasgow. Ray Fung, who was the last year's runner-up, is in the chat room, as well as Peter Singh up there in British Columbia.
Hey Raymond, how's it going?
I like the effort there by CC taking that on. If that had dropped, it really would have got him in first. That's what you want. A little confidence. And just pop it into our other TV table over there. It's Stephen Wong and Romil Azmat with referee Ajay Pradhakar. So we'll be bouncing back between those. Try and focus on this one a bit more than the other, but definitely we've got a good vantage point for us in the room. So if we see something exciting, we'll bounce back if we're not on that exact table.
Yeah, can't miss any of the action for sure.
Well, Ray, I've got a early morning trivia question for you. What is on one of these tables but has no purpose in the game of snooker?
But has no purpose. Interesting question there, Dave. See if the viewers can
let it stew for a little bit.
Yeah, figure out what you're getting at there.
If you take a look at this table right now, there's something on this table that has no use for the game of snooker. Darren in first, seeing if he can continue on his prowess from last night. Thanks, Mickey Singh. It's unfortunate we're going to miss you, but there's always be many more tournaments coming up. Definitely take a look at snookerusa.com So we'll find a lot of tournaments. Our next, I think, big tournament coming up is going to be the Pabst Open down in Brazil.
Got a couple of answers to your question there. Charles Crouch over on Facebook. And comes in a few seconds before SC Manhattan. They say the bulk line.
They are absolutely correct.
Wow.
The bulk is used obviously in billiards, and there actually isn't a quote-unquote snooker table, as the game of snooker is played on a billiards table. So we just kind of use the bulk line as a point of reference, but it's no purpose for the game.
Now, what about the D?
The D is definitely important.
Do you consider the overlap of the bulk line and the D point of contention, or no?
Nope, like you could get away with just a D and you then kind of wouldn't have that bulk line there, shall we say.
Okay. Interesting.
So. But I think we've stoked the fire there with Ray Fung. I think he's going to be probably busy working away for next year's championship, so we can get some trivia going.
Okay. Ray Fung's got a question for us. Who was the oldest to win the national championship, and how old were they? He says it's an easy question. Oh, what a pot from Darren Taylor there. Starting off strong in this frame.
Just waiting for Ramil to take his shot on the adjacent table. And yeah, just obviously with these amateur tournaments, it's always a battle against time and availability for rooms. So obviously in an ideal situation, we would like to have one semifinal going, followed by the next leading up to the finals. But when you have active rooms and not large budgets, we got to make do. But fear not, we definitely, all eyes will be focused on the table at 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time today, as that is when the final is scheduled to commence. But first, we need to get to the semifinals to find out who the two players will be battling out for the Tom Collins Trophy.
Good pot there. Yeah, so Raymond's question was, who was the oldest to win the U.S. National and how old? SC Manhattan saying Reardon. I don't believe Reardon is the U.S. National, is he?
If he's alluding to Ray Reardon, well, Ray Reardon's a Welsh player.
Darren thinking about the roll-up here on the blue, possibly. It is probably the smarter shot. He's just checking maybe if it passes the red to left corner. Yeah, see Manhattan, no worry. Yeah, I think he was alluding to Ray Reardon. Alright, good roll up there by Darren, just playing the safe shot. He's got some points on the board, so just maximizing the pressure. It's early on in this best of 7 though, so anything can happen.
I might have stuck and been touching ball. Let's see what the referee awards. No?
Not a touching ball.
There's some ranking. I believe there were some seeded players as how they performed last year, correct, Christian?
Yeah, I believe so. It seems pretty minimal and primitive. It kind of just had to do with last year's results and previous tournaments that or previous U.S. national tournaments and what their results have been in the past. But nothing, don't know how concrete the rankings are or how many players it actually involves. I believe it was just a 1 through 8 seeding of known players pre-tournament, essentially.
And then a random draw. As we got into the knockout round, we did a random draw. As Christian did videotape myself and Alan Morris preparing the knockout side.
I do believe the groups were slightly influenced by location, so they tried to make it so that, known players traveling from the same state would be spread out amongst more groups. That way you didn't end up playing all the friends that you come to travel with, and get some more variety in the groups. It's also part of the fun of the U.S. Nationals is getting to come and meet this group of people every year, hang out and build the sport in that way as well. First big mistake from Darren here.
Yeah, back up in Canada we use Excel, and there's certain formula that you can just put it as a random draw. Those formulas and stuff like that, so it's nice as players come up to me and ask me, what's going on with this draw? Well, first of all, you got to beat everybody to win the tournament. Let's say that. But also, it's the computer.
Wow, CC with a miss there. Big miss pot, but fortunate fluke there. I think that could be pivotal for this frame. Doesn't seem like CC's gotten off to a crazy fast start, but that could be the spark he needs.
True, D-Kiss of Love. It is a little tricky to rank with only one tournament a year, but hopefully, as we're kind of getting out of that pandemic, that was a real hit, obviously, to the snooker scene here in North America. But we're rebounding. Hopefully more and more tournaments will be coming up. Nice to see Carl Hancock tuning in. He runs a great club in Rochester, Washington, In the Pocket Snooker Club. Definitely pay him a visit if you're up in that area. So nice safe shot there by CC. Gets that cue ball tight to the ball cushion. Makes it a little tricky for Darren, as you're going to be cueing a little bit down on the cue ball. Don't want to put any unwanted side, as that will push the ball to a unpredicted location. Charles, I think if you take a look at snookerusa.com, you should be able to find some information as tournaments and events come up. This great club here that Stephen Wong is running will have the great Tep Chai Unu coming in December. So definitely if you're in the neighborhood, that'll be an exciting event to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, actually. Tep Chai. Really cool player. Reach out to Stephen Wong for that one, right? I think December time frame. That red looks like it barely passed.
Yeah, it's nice to see. Good tip for all you young and newer players. Watch how Darren really takes a deliberate pause in his backswing. Just able to pull it back, focus so much, and then it's like he's cocking a gun almost and drives through.
We just had a big break over on TV Table 2, Stephen Wong. Knocks in a 41 against Ramil and misses that pink into left middle pocket. Not leaving much other than probably a runaway into the bulk area, maybe a double. So he's putting the pressure to Ramil there. But Ramil, alas, always playing the smart shot. It's a good safety here if it doesn't leave this red to right corner. But good little safety shot here from CC on the miss to right corner with the red.
Yeah, he missed it so bad it became good.
It's going to roll up on this red toward the bottom of the table. Nice shot. Does leave that red on though. In an ideal world, you're probably playing that top cushion first and come underneath it so you don't really leave a pot on, but another chance for CC maybe to get some points on the board. Slight overcut. It's not quite dialed in as we saw yesterday, it seems. It is early morning today, 9 a.m. I imagine all players are going to take a little bit of time to get used to the pace and into the match. We're only going to see the standard improve as we continue on.
Do definitely share the link with friends. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV on Ox Billiards channel, as well as the San Gabriel Embassy Snooker Club, San Gabriel Embassy Billiards Club's YouTube channel. So like and subscribe all those great spots, as you'll be notified when we go live again in the final. We appreciate all your viewership all weekend long.
Ooh, managed to catch the long rail there first.
That is true, Al. There's a lot of wheels turning on these tournaments, as it's an amateur tournament. All these players and people behind the scenes are doing it for the love of it. Some have to travel quite far to get here. It's an expensive trip. Sometimes they're taking away time from their jobs, so we appreciate everybody making the effort.
Yeah, I think a lot of the players actually on the West Coast, it seems, we're pretty close. Arizona Snooker Academy folks are fairly nearby, and Los Angeles, Northern California players as well. And then you have a little contingency from Seattle. So it made it a little bit easier, but I think it has been held in New York, Houston, Seattle in the past, so a lot of different locations, that's for sure.
Yes, it has been a great tournament. Our friends in the North, Snooker Canada, recognizing that, and there could be potential for 128 players, but that does just cost time and money.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with the exposure, they're not going to happen overnight.
And CC needs to cover this red. I think his cue ball's gonna bust open. The yellow looks awfully close, but I don't think he has it. A little risky playing the black onto the red there, but I must have known the plant was possibly on. Might be a cushion first here, but depends how close this yellow is to the white. Don't know if he has quite the angle, so CC might have gotten a pretty deep snooker here. There's a possible shot to nothing here. One of these reds in the left side of the stack, of the pack, planting it onto that red into the corner. And that's what he opted for, it looks like. Good pot. Wow. I'm not going to leave anything much more than a bold color, but he'll take it.
Yeah, that plant was definitely drastically easier with the red just sitting in the jaws of the pocket.
Oh. Sat on the side table. Pretty big fluke. Ramil missing the red. cue ball falling forward and cannoning into a red and pocketing it. And now ended up on the black. Pretty low. So maybe a chance for Ramil to get back in that frame. Stevens off to a fast start. This is when that cue ball's in that area, it always makes me a little bit worried about the in-off, especially when you're on the cushion, but looks like Darren had enough angle to avoid any such risk. He might be short here, though. I don't know if he has the leftmost red closest to the black. Not sure if that's potable. Maybe the ball, maybe the red in the top of the pack. Yep, that's what he was playing for.
He had the angle to run just to get over for the black after that. It's definitely drawing it back, puts an element of air there. There's a smaller window of where you actually have to hit the ball there to be accurate.
This is where CC has to go for it. So now if he misses this, he's got to pot this red. Yeah, it's a risky shot, but I think it was something he knew he had to go for. Oh, Darren looking at this. Might not have this red actually to right corner. Raymond Fong giving us the answer to his trivia earlier. The question was, who is the oldest to win the U.S. Nationals? And at what age? I had a feeling it was this answer, but I didn't want to spoil the fun. But it looks like it says his godfather, Mr. Tom Collins, won his 5th national title in 2001 at the age of 65.
Tom Collins Sr., who's done many wonderful things for the game of snooker in the US of A. His son participated in this tournament, carrying the torch, and definitely a little later today you will see the trophy in honor of Tom Collins be hoisted high in the air by the champion.
Tricky spot here. So I think CC maybe getting a little bit more fortune amongst the balls so far in this first frame. But alas, the game of snooker is a funny game, and oftentimes things will always level out in the long run, so...
Pool champions. It's the semifinals. We've got a match between Stephen Wong and Romil Azmet. They're on our other table that we're bouncing back to, but our kind of featured semifinal is CCU taking on Darren Taylor. If you want to take a look at cloudsnooker.com, that has all the information about this great tournament, so you can see where your favorite players were, how they fared, and how we got to this point. Great resource.
Darren playing this safety to cover this red closest to right corner. But I think CC can get to it based on the body language here. This is the only red really potable from distance that would be worth snookering for, and good pot there. Just lost the cue ball a bit on the pace. Almost played the two-way shot a little too well. Now we might see a roll-up, or if he's feeling like he's got gas in the tank, he might go for this to right middle. He's going for it. Good pot there from CC. I think he needs a few of these more difficult pots, but, you know, confidence boosters to really get in this frame.
Good angle to get by the pink and black here.
Dropping behind, needs a good cannon. He has the pink, the rest shot, or a bit of an awkward blue, so big shot opportunity coming up here. Checking on our side table here, looks like Stephen Wong has been putting Ramil in to some snookers here, but leading the frame so far. 33 points, 35 in it. I'll have to check back in momentarily to see the conclusion of that frame, as they are one red away from the colors. And look at this snooker here from Steven. Excellent shot. That was always going to be a tough rest shot. A little bit stretched out even with the equipment. Once again, I think he's managed to not leave a easy pot on. Wow. I think we missed it on the stream, but Ramil just went one cushion and rattled the jaws of the right corner pocket. Managed to cannon into that red and escape the snooker. But alas, gonna leave an easy pot on for Steven to close out this first frame.
Just hold on to this match here, see if Steven can do the business and draw first blood, leading 52-18.
Yeah, it looks like Darren didn't have a potting opportunity here. But leaving a tough shot to right middle. Let's see. See if Steven can clear up this frame.
This definitely should be first frame for Stephen Wong. It's a best of 7. Always good to get your first frame early on. As we saw with Renat Danka yesterday, he just wasn't in it against Darren Taylor. And Darren took a commanding 3-0 lead, but then Renat found something, turned it up. I was able to win 3 in a row, forced us to the decider, and it was very dramatic, as everyone knows from watching last night.
Was going for the pot there. Nice shot from Steven. Yeah, surely this frame is ended now. We'll have to check in on this. Oh, what a pot there. Darren Taylor. Long potting. It's been phenomenal all tournament long.
Yes, his father was the great David Taylor, the Silver Fox as he was known back in England. So it's nice to see Darren come into the booth as well, provide some insights. He does a lot of coaching for the young players and the new players in Arizona at Ramil's club.
Mm-hmm. Getting ready with frame 2 action over there. Darren on a good opportunity to put some more points on the board. Feels like his style of play has been kind of get a medium to decent double-digit break, put his opponent in a tough spot, and just put the pressure on. All the frames that he has won, especially the ones against Renat early on in that match from the semi for the quarterfinal yesterday, were very much of that style. You know, he would only make a 20 to 30 break or so, pot his balls, play safeties, make the long pot, continue on making another break. Pretty soon the scoreline became just too unmanageable, and it felt like Renat never had a chance really in those first few frames. Looks a little bit familiar here though. More of the same from Darren. I think he's nicely on this black actually. Might be able to follow and send the cue ball between the blue-red for the red in the right middle.
It's also got an open red just below the pink spot.
actually on more angle than I thought. Drops the black in. Worst case, does have that red you mentioned, it seems. I don't think he got too close to this.
Just a little something distract him, so he regrouped, reset it. Needs one more red. Does that run? Well, I think he's okay for the red in the middle.
Yeah, he just came short of that position to get snookered on that red. I think he's perfect on this. Gonna have to roll it in. Get on the wrong side of the blue, or you can screw back, play for bulk color. I like the second option a little more, as does he.
It's just a color ball to put us in the snooker's required stage. So there's a 43 difference, and there's 43 on the table right now.
Just gonna play for a yellow, it looks like. I think brown might be either too straight or just off angle going the wrong direction. He has enough to just stun across. Probably have to take that. He's queuing with a high ball, so maybe he wants to get him behind those reds. Yeah, smart shot.
Yeah, it's a long red into the top left. Wouldn't mind getting another red in color, just kind of to seal the deal on this first frame.
Mm-hmm. Slight overcut. It's going to be one snooker for CC based on where the reds sit. It's going to give it a shot. It's only tricky just because pink is unavailable. Although he wants blacks. Two blacks would make it so that he only needs a 4-point snooker to tie.
Good part is that pink is rather safe on the cushion, so a lot of work for CC if he wants to steal this first frame.
Yeah, threat of clearance definitely encumbered by that. Really, this is a big shot. Getting on this red to screw back for the black. Our play position for it is pretty crucial, but misses that black there.
That's a concession there. So
concession.
Darren Taylor takes the first frame. 1-0. They're just having a few words there. I think there maybe is a misunderstanding, but strong work for Darren to strike first. And as referee Dave Daly sets up frame 2, maybe we'll just take a poke over to our other semi-final match between Romil and Steven. Looks like Steven again has got in first, but he kind of broke down a little. I'm gonna I guess that black ball was blocking the path for that red in the open on the left side. So Emil just had to glance off the bunch and come back into the bulk area. Great long pot there by Steven.
Confidence right there.
It's been quite amazing that he has been able to wear the many hats this weekend. He's the owner-operator of this great club here at Embassy. Lots of things have been going on off the table that he does need to attend to at times, but he's got a great staff that he can flip on the switch, and now he's in player mode.
Break off on this main TV table. CC goes 2 cushions in between blue and green. Doesn't quite catch the pack as he would have wanted and goes straight and off into the green pocket. So 4-point foul to start. So still things not going well for CC in this one.
I'm not sure if Kevin and Stephen are related. Relating to Kevin Wong and Stephen Wong, our friend Six Guy, and I can't remember if it's North or South Carolina, but he's definitely in the Carolinas.
Don't believe so, no.
Mm-hmm. So CC just waiting for Stephen to take his shot on the adjacent table, and he'll get down into business. He had one of these shots in the previous frame along the top cushion.
South Carolina, he says. It's a tough shot here. Yeah, it just doesn't look like it's really gotten started in this match. Missing some pots, which you wouldn't expect.
Thanks for the well wishes, Chuck. Wishing everybody a happy holiday, happy Labor Day, all the way from Motor City in Detroit, Michigan. So, Darren has had a couple of 80 breaks in the tournament, so we'll see how costly that mistake was for CC. If Darren can develop something and put a frame-winning clearance here. He's got a few reds open.
Yeah, David Brock saying that CC snatching the majority of shots, not settled down yet. I do agree. There was a little bit of a discussion there. I think him conceding the last frame as Darren was coming to the table. So maybe playing in his head, but it is a best of 7, so there will come a point in this match where he will be settled in, I imagine. And we know he can definitely bring the heat, as any of these semifinalists can. Oh, we have more trivia time, actually, from Ray Fong. Trivia time. So first question earlier was who was the oldest player to win the Nationals, U.S. Nationals, and at what age? That was Tom Collins Sr. at age 65. Next question we got here is, since the first Nationals in 1991, who held the most consecutive final day appearances? Now this is final day appearances, not defending champion titles, right? So it could go a little bit unnoticed who this might be.
He's got the black. This will help get back on the spot. With all this trivia from Ray, he's going to start have to supply some prizes for all these answers that people give, if they are correct.
Just going to want to avoid the in-off here. It lays close enough to the cushion where it makes it a little tricky, and yeah, almost like he threw his shoulder into that shot a little bit, playing the stun shot or the slight draw shot there.
Oh, great long pot there by Darren. Yeah, it's seeming like whoever can get in first here is going to be quite pleased with themselves, as those reds down at the business end of the table are definitely getting opened up.
Yeah, if you can get black on the spot, or if pink is blocked and pink could spot up, might have a chance for a high break, but could also choose to just roll up on this brown. It seems like CC has not been quite himself so far in this match, and looks like he's opting to get some more points on the board first. Can easily pick off a few reds also and kind of play that double-digit break and play back to bulk. We'll see what he can do here. It's going to kind of depend on this black, I think, whether or not he gets a big break. Yeah, the century is ripe here, David Brock. Calling it. Big shot here. Which red is he going to get on next?
Going to cover some distance with this blue, taking his cue ball in and out of bulk.
He's going to play for the rightmost red, bottom of the pack. He's come a little bit too far though. He's trying to get that black on the spot as soon as possible. So like we said, I don't think any red really needs a cannon. Everything has a pocket. Might need to give another chance if he can play for blue here. At the stun one cushion. In and out of bulk. Or does he get on the right side? That's a good shot.
Looks like he's maybe just a bit straight. Possibly could draw back a little bit just for that red that's above the pink spot. If it passes that red on the right.
I think he's playing the red at the top of the pack. To the left corner next. Has a slight angle based on his bridging. And he's got a nice angle here, I think, to stun across. For black next. Does he follow through this gap between the two reds just below the pink and the three reds to the right? No, he's going to stun across. Nope, just screw back, I guess. Play for blue again. Doesn't have quite this reaction, though, he would have wanted. And now things a little tricky here.
Yeah, Darren, one of our taller players, able to reach this blue without stretching too much or using the rest.
Oh, slow roll there. Nice shot.
Take this red into the left corner. Element is safe.
Oh, wow. And off the black there.
Fortuitous
Yikes.
flick. Raises his hand to apologize for the fluke.
His speed control is quite on because got that cue ball tight to bulk, but much nicer when you have to play for a bulk color instead of the reds. And great break from Darren. I think it was just one positional shot away from really opening up the reds, and century would have been on.
Yeah, CC's got to have a good look here. He's aware of the caliber of his player, so it's one thing getting out of the snooker and hitting a red ball. You want to make sure that your cue ball goes safe and you haven't left an easy starter, if any, for your opponent. I think those will be coming back. Yeah, Dave was in the tournament. Referee Dave Daly there. He's been becoming quite a fixture. He's a very impressive referee. We really appreciate him stepping up. We had a lot of great people to make this machine work behind the scenes. Definitely reach out to snookerusa.com if you want to become a member and possibly help out with some of these great events that they put on. Now in these semifinals, it is unlimited misses or attempts until we reach the snooker's required stage.
Chicken on our side table. Looks like Steven just thinning a red a little too much. Loses control of the cue ball. He's up in this second frame against Ramil. They're changing the rule here where it's unlimited respots until snooker's required stage, you said, right? It's going to be tricky for CC. It's getting closer.
Yeah, but his last 3 attempts have been in the same spot, so he's got to make some adjustment here. And there he does.
Oh, this might leave a pot on, though. Oh, good contact. Manages to escape. Leaves the offensive option, though, for Darren. It's kind of the worst of both worlds, where you still get a lot of foul points, and yet you leave an opportunity for your opponent.
Be mindful of the in and off into the middle pocket. Oh, he's left this one open for CC. It's definitely, well, it's thin. Very thin. Interesting, Chuck. I did not know that when 8-ball was imported into the UK in the 1970s, of what it was called. It was called bogey. Yeah, CC just not finding this. Is kind of echoes of Darren's match last night, that Darren really came out strong against Renat. So just CC can get an easy opener and get a good run going. That might help his confidence, but right now he's kind of reeling a bit. Difficult color here. So I'm probably just going to be electing to play safe.
Push the blue fairly safe. Still somewhat accessible. Would have liked for it to be tight to a cushion with this 46-point lead. A little more aggressive safety at this speed. He's going to get tight to this blue. Yeah, good safety there from CC. I think that might be what he's going to have to rely upon to get his game started, is get a couple of snookers and get some possibility for an easier opportunity to start off. Believe there's a chance on. Yep, this red goes to left corner. Black out in the open. Bit of a Ronnie O'Sullivan escape felt like there from Darren, just kind of hitting the balls at pace and see what happens. Fortunately, blue is up in the bulk end. If he can get pink and black spotted, could be an opportunity for a comeback in this frame. Only one red really poses an extremely difficult shot, I'd say, down the left long rail. Otherwise, these four reds, or three reds now, fairly out in the open.
Yeah, CC can just handle his nerves here. There's a good red here. Get this black on. Get another red. And you are correct, 570 Megan. The final is going to be starting at 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight time today. We're just in the semifinals to start this day, but the finals, you are correct, 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight.
It's got a little bit high on this black. It's going to make it tricky to play for the next red. We're going to see a lot of pace in this ball, I believe. 2 cushions forward. Or just a stun. Yeah, good stun shot. Wants to get high on the black. A little bit more natural angle on this next pot, as this last open red up table is a little bit higher up. Gonna play for pink instead. I like this shot, very natural to come into that line and get on the correct side of the pink. And once you get that spotted, another chance for more angles to play, more colors to play for. Tricky bridging here, but
Yeah, gotta be mindful of a lot. There's a green that he might touch with his shirt. That would be a foul. And his kind of bridge hand is in between the brown and blue.
yeah, couldn't quite get the stroke on that shot.
This is good for CC's confidence, definitely. These have not been relatively easy reds and colors. So
Yeah, definitely settled in a little bit now, I think. This is the shot for the frame, though. Probably going to play up for blue as a two-way. Just in case of the miss. How's his cue ball speed here? It's going to get that red covered. It's a nice shot. I think he might have the full snooker on both balls, except this red along the left cushion is a little bit easier to escape from it being so close to the rail. Probably going to opt to try to hold the cue ball down table somewhere near the black if you can. Set it at a softer pace. He's done just that.
Yeah.
Free shot for CC though.
That cue ball tight to the cushion, so a little tricky here for CC.
And just undercut it a bit. I think this pot is still on for Darren. Looks like there might be a big enough gap between blue and yellow. Wow.
Sometimes the luck is on your side, but best of 7, you know, it could turn around and the luck could go into CC's favor, but always is a blow to your confidence when you're not potting and then your opponent seems to be getting all the luck. It's just going to just roll up nicely to this green.
Dangerous snooker here for CC. It's red. Very small ball, it looks like.
Being close to the pink as well, if he misses, could be a costly affair.
Solid hit.
Hit, but just didn't get that object ball safe. So this is an easy starter here for Darren, who does have a 24 advantage with 35 on the table.
Yeah, this could be the opportunity to close out this second frame for Darren.
Yeah, I think if he isn't able to take this frame, he's going to be a little sick to his stomach. He's just been gifted an opportunity. So I won't be surprised that the climax of this frame, maybe CC can step away from the table, just maybe give himself a little pep talk as referee Daly sets up the frame.
So it's frame ball here. Just took a look at the score to confirm. All the colors definitely be able for a clearance. Let's see the clearance, Darren. Slight stun run through there, but maybe a little farther than he would have wanted. I think he's going to end up having to go forward if he doesn't have enough of this cue ball. Play brown to left middle. Or left corner as well. Pretty straight actually into the left corner pocket, I believe. Just overcut that. I think that's going to be enough for frame 2.
Yeah, that's a concession there. So Darren Taylor takes frame 2 to lead 2 frames to nothing in this best of 7. He needs 2 more. And as predicted, CCU has just stepped away from the table as Dave Daly sets up the frame. We'll take a little peek over at our other semifinal table here with Stephen Wong and Romil Azmat. Stephen back at it, scoring quite heavily. Interior tuning in Rain, our friend all the way from Sweden. Hopefully he's doing some good work over there to build up the game over there in Scandinavia. And maybe we could pay him a visit someday. Across backside double here. Play the snooker, and I think he's played it quite lovely. Really went at it there. Do have a special guest coming into the booth with us, a man that was in the tournament, unfortunately fell last night in the quarterfinals to Romil. It is Sargon Isaac. Welcome to the booth, Sargon.
Hey, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
And Sargon, this is the club that you play out of, right? You're out of Embassy?
No, actually not. No. I am actually based in Northern California, actually. Yeah, so I was based kind of by the Bay Area. Been in America for about 15 years, and actually this club was the first club I played at for the last Nationals, which is the one I won. So that was in 2012, I believe, and that was the last Nationals that was held here. Yeah, and that was the one, I think the first one I played in, and there was a few after that as well. But yeah, no, so this has been I actually haven't played in the Nationals probably about 5 years now, 6 years. So it's nice to get back. I was playing a lot of pool and mixing up my pool game, got into that a little bit, but it's nice to be back and playing. And I had a good run, but I just unfortunately just was battling with like trying to figure out the cue to play with. And yeah, the better man won on the day. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see. Looks like there's two good semi-finals here. So are we going back and forth between, or is there a primary?
We kind of
focus?
are, yeah. There's a little break on the other tables. They're just kind of setting up, and this one's looking like, oh.
So I think he's still okay, right? Because I mean, it's what, 39. So see the thing is about Ramel, right? He's a very tactical player. So I won't be surprised if he puts him. Well, I think he's just going to try and roll behind the blue. Yeah, that's the right shot. I think he's going to see between the gap, though. No, he can see. No, he's perfect. So it's always good to leave the yellow ball in the middle of the table. So you won't feel. Are you a snooker player as well, a pool player as well? Yeah.
I do play snooker.
So you play at Ox as well, or do you play somewhere else?
I play up in Canada.
No way. Okay, which part of Canada are you in?
I'm in Vancouver.
Oh, okay. I have a brother in Nova Scotia, actually. Yeah, okay. I have. And I've always wanted to go there. It's actually funny enough, I found out about, it's a crazy story, but I found out about him recently. Wanted to visit him, and he's a snooker fan as well. But I went to Toronto, and I loved it over there. But yeah, I'd have to, if I'm up in the Canada area or your neck of the woods, I'll have to come by for a frame or something like that.
Yeah,
so
definitely reach out. We've got a good scene up there. We're just getting our season started as in mid-September we'll be having our first qualifying event for the BC Open.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had a chance to tune into some of those events recently. A lot of players, right? And a lot of where would you say are like the primary locations for like these BC Opens and stuff like that?
We play in Richmond, British Columbia, which is just outside of Vancouver, at a place called Top 147 Snooker and Billiards Lounge.
Okay.
Run by Jonathan Sun. He's actually just recently put in 2 Rasson tables.
Oh, nice. So how many tables do they have total?
So total they have 7 right now, but I know his plan is he's going to be taking down one of his Chinese 8-ball tables to put in another snooker or one of those snooker tables that he took down to facilitate the Rassons. So that will be nice.
That'll be nice, yeah.
As we see in this great room, having 8 tables just makes a tournament run so smoothly.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think they used to have 12 at one point. When I came my first nationals here, I think the total was 12. So they had this room with the layout that you see now, and then they had 4 tables to the left of it. So like the main door, there was and those were these tournament tables actually were going left.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's especially with a big tournament like this or like yours. It's always convenient when you've got like you said, like 8 to 10, 12 tables and stuff like that. So
yeah, not always a even number. Those odd numbers can make it tricky because sometimes.
Absolutely. Especially if there's a battle towards the end, right? And you're waiting to, waiting for all the matches to roll over. But
yeah, it was a little tough in the beginning because I didn't know many of the players. But now that you get to know the players, you kind of can schedule it a little bit more creatively, shall we say? To make sure
I got you.
The tournament goes smoothly.
I hear you. So Stephen took that game down now, so he's 2-0 up. We're on the stream table for CC and Darren. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check out Darren and Renard's match yesterday. I know you guys were streaming it too, but what a brilliant match. And funny enough, I was on the table next to it, not playing too great at all, but it was a brilliant battle. I was sort of kind of watching it from the side eye, but that could have really gone either way. It was like final, I think on the blue and the pink, what drama at the end as well. Did you have a chance to, you guys were streaming it probably. Yeah, what an unbelievable ending. I was surprised he hit the blue so hard. And then when he went in off, when Darren hit the blue like that and he made a beautiful shot, but I think he was trying to stun left and right rather than just drop it in. But what an incredible ending to give. If you guys have a chance, check that out. I think it's probably on the Facebook or YouTube from yesterday. So
yeah, lots of twists and turns.
Absolutely.
I thought Renat was going to be out of it, and then that in off. So as you alluded to. So Sargon, how did you find out about this great game of snooker?
Well, such a good question. So I found out, so I was born and raised in England, played snooker all my life. I say all my life, from 14, 15 onwards I was addicted. Did it while I was playing, going through school, university, everything, and then ended up moving here, and I left my cue literally in the same spot before I moved here. And then about 6 years later, didn't pick up a cue. Not even a pool cue, nothing. Maybe like just a bar, pool table, whatever. I thought, I'd be interested to see if there's any snooker tables around. And that's where I reached out to. I was looking around and I found out about Jaya. And I happened to be in the Bay Area and I said, hey, previous snooker player, I'd love to play some snooker. Any suggestions? She's like, yeah, you can come meet me. And it used to be Shoreline Billiards right by like the Google office in Mountain View. It used to be called Shoreline Billiards. And then I met up with Ajay and I was kind of hooked again. I just had that urge to play again. So I called my dad and I said, hey, when are you next coming? And then I told him, like, hey, could you bring my cue, which has been sat in the same spot. This was like 5, 6 years later on. Dust on it, on everything collected. And sure enough, he brought the cue and then I just started playing again. And Jaya told me about the Nationals, which is the one that was here, which was the one I won. And then, yeah, just picked up from there, really. And then I think about 5 years after that, I found out about pool because the gentleman that streamed this event, POV Pool, last time, came to my neck of the woods and was running like a 10-ball tournament, like streaming a 10-ball tournament. But yeah, so back to the snooker thing. Primarily, that's how I originally found out about it too, and it's been fortunate because it's so nice here. Like as you could probably allude to, and I'm sure it's the same in Canada too. But when you come to these events, you get to see the same faces, or as well as new. And there's such a collected unit. Like I met one of my best friends through Ramal, and Steven's a really good friend of mine also. So it's been really good. And just generally like the hosts and everything has been fantastic. Like Embassy here too. It's just fun to get together and play at a great snooker. And obviously, or we're all trying to win, right? Which makes it even more fun, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, that's how I found out about USA snooker as a whole. Alan, Ajay, and the rest of the crew have done a really great job, and hopefully we just get like more tour stops, more tournaments, and maybe even something against Canada as well. That would be really great if we could do that as well. I know they used to do something like that back in the day, right? Like a USA versus Canada friendly or
They
something
are,
like
yeah.
that.
I know, talking with Mike Dominguez, the great owner-operator of Ox Billiards, we have been discussing some kind of border battle that might happen in the near future.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I know they had talked about it a few years back, but I didn't hear anything else about it too. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And so potentially at Seattle is what you're thinking?
Quite possibly might bounce back between Seattle and the club in Richmond for the beginning, and then who knows, we'll see if it catches on. Maybe other clubs will bid for it, kind of like how the new U.S. Nationals does. And I think how the Canadian Nationals, predominantly they've been held in Toronto for a bunch of years, but I think as we're seeing more growth in various provinces in Canada, there might be some clubs that might start to put out the effort and bid on the championship. So
Awesome. Yeah, that would be really fun.
But I'm a little bit interested as well, going back to England. What brought you into the game? Were you in somewhere and you heard the click of the balls, or were you just like turning on the TV and all of a sudden you're like, what is this thing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for me, it was my uncle had a snooker table in his house. He just got like an antique snooker table, and as soon as I started playing on that, I was hooked. Yeah, and for England as well, a lot of the houses are very small, but we're fortunate in the sense of he had a large room that he's able to get like an antique snooker table into. And I was hooked. The cloth was terrible, the balls were terrible, the cushions were terrible, but I didn't care. I was just wanting to smash balls in the pocket. And then I started going to some local clubs. I went to a local club, and a guy, it was actually a bit creepy because the older gentleman just came and just started watching me, and I was like, what's going on here? And he's like, hey, would you like to join our men's team? And I'll never forget this because a lot of the places, I was winning a lot of matches, but it was a lot of places wouldn't let me go in because of the age restriction, right? Like there's like a lot of smoking stuff like that too. So it was a lot of like, pubs and stuff like that, or bars, for example, or like they call them over there. I think they call them conservative clubs. Like they're not like politically affiliated, but they're like they just got
clubs.
Yeah, like gentleman clubs kind of thing. Yeah, like it's like a sports club kind of thing. But they were nicknamed over there conservative clubs, and then. But that was kind of pretty much it. And then I just started playing in a lot of junior tournaments with like, and it's funny too because I see a lot of the guys I was playing with in different tournaments. Like I see them on TV now as well, which is crazy for me to see like the Mark Allen, Jamie Cope, Jamie O'Neill, Judd Trump. Like a lot of these guys are like Liam Highfield. I can name probably another 20 more that were in these junior tournaments I was with that was run by Willie Thorne's brother. And it was cool too because the scenes over there, like every major club had like really, really solid players. And some players made it and some players didn't. And these guys were phenomenal. Like I was talking to Ramel yesterday about how I played Judd Trump at 12. And I'll never forget this. It was a quarterfinal of a junior event. And I think I broke off twice, played safe, and he just rolled in 2 long reds, and I think he had 90, 190, like 105 and 123 or something against me.
Wow.
It was just insane, like, and I'll never forget this. And I think he was like 12. So what was really good for me was like I was attending these junior tournaments and I was playing these solid players, and then I got an opportunity to practice against like Michael Hall and Steve Judd and all these really, really solid players, and it just made me a better player because I just had to punish as well as tactically too. So those things were really, really beneficial for me. And yeah, I think that's what's lacking, unfortunately, in like the US and maybe Canada. Maybe I'll speak on behalf of Canada, but you can correct me if I'm wrong too. It's just the amount of high quality. I'm talking like almost pro standard players where everyone's kind of punishing each other, and it just raises everybody's game, right? But yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit about you. Like, how did you get into snooker? Because obviously, it's Canada, US. Everyone seems to have a unique story about the snooker background, right? Like, how did you get into it?
Well, I did regale that story a little bit to Darren the other day in the booth, but I don't know if you were listening. But I'll give you the long version, as this kind of frame is kind of stale a bit. But
Yeah.
I grew up in a town called Oakville, which is just outside of Toronto.
Okay.
And there's these 2 guys, these musicians, Brian Eno and Daniel Lanois, that made this album in Hamilton, which is a neighboring city, in 1983.
Okay.
And I would have been out for that time and wondering maybe did they walk by me as they went out for a day, but who knows. let's play make-believe there. But it wasn't for a couple of years. Then the sports network up there was airing this great game of snooker, and there was this guy that was just potting them off the lampshades. And I had no idea who it was. Well, I actually found out who it was. It was Stephen Hendry.
No way, okay.
And a funny thing, I forgot to mention to Darren the other day that I'd be on the playground with friends the next day in school and asking them, did you see this snooker on the television? And they were like, yeah, because there wasn't many things on TV back then in the late 80s and 90s. They were one of the channels that we have nowadays. And I was actually mimicking the commentators, just with their hoity-toity, like, proper
Like
English,
proper
accent,
English,
accent. And it turned out it was John Pullman that I was mimicking. So then, unfortunately, the snooker went away. And I continued on my life, went into the artistic direction, into the world of film. And then this song, an ending, an ascent from the Apollo atmospheres and soundtracks, that album that Brian Eno and Daniel Lanois created in Hamilton. So I was like, that's just a great song, really fell in love with it. And then come 2013, Brian Eno did an artist talk in Vancouver. And I went to go check it out, and he discussed his process of making music. And then he said, I'm not really an athlete, but I do enjoy a good game of snooker from time to time. And I was like, light bulb went off. I'm like, I remember that game. So I sourced it out, found out this organization, Snooker Canada, was running a BC Open. So I entered it. Well, I played a little bit, so I'm like, okay, I'll play in this tournament.
That's awesome.
And went undefeated in coin tosses.
No.
I lost in a match. But maintained the...
That's incredible. I love the way you frame that up.
Maintained the interest, and then saw once that Snooker Canada was putting out a advert for Do You Fancy Yourself as a Commentator. I've had a lot of people in my life come to me and ask me, Dave, are you on radio?
You do have a radio voice, to be fair, a commentator voice too. I love the direction this is going. Okay, so
I reached out to them and talked to Patrick Geegy, who's the head of Snooker Canada. He said it was, this is sounding great. Can you do a sample for us? I'm like, sure. So I, downloaded a match from YouTube, took out the audio. I have a little audio set up at home. So I recorded a match how I saw it, sent it off to them like, this is wonderful. Would you like to come out to Montreal? And this is back in 2016. I'm like, perfect. So that kind of started it all off.
Got it. Awesome.
And then the following year, just to bookend it all, we're in Burlington, Ontario. This is actually right beside my hometown of Oakville, and getting ready on Friday night for a big match between two Canadian amateur players, Charlie Brown and Floyd Ziegler. I'm not sure if you know those
Charlie
two.
Brown, I think I've heard the name of, but I'm not sure the other gentleman.
Okay. But people who knew the Canadian scene knew that this is a good match on a Friday night at that Richter Cup Championship. And I'm just getting ready to do my stuff for commentating, and I look over in our section where audience members can sit, and who was sitting there? Daniel Lanois. So I got to go over there and chat with him and talk about the process he did with Brian Eno about making this album. I was just in heaven, and funny enough, I was...
Was he mesmerized by your story? He must have been.
I don't think I've told him
Did you tell him the whole version?
I
You
don't
must have.
think I've told him the
Oh,
full
you should
story.
have. Yeah, you should have.
Hopefully I can see him again sometimes, because the great Pat McCarthy, who's a table fitter in Toronto, is good friends with Daniel Lanois, has set up the tables there. So hopefully someday I can relay that story to him.
That's awesome.
So that was some good fun, and it's very interesting as well. I'm running around the room telling everyone, do you know who is in the room? Daniel Lanois. And a lot of people are like, I don't know who you're talking about. So then some people do some Wikipedia searches, and Daniel actually worked with Brian producing the Joshua Tree and other U2 albums, so it's definitely got some cred.
Wow.
So
That's awesome. I just noticed actually in the match here, I don't know if we'll come back to this. Cece's missed an open red twice, I believe. He's going to have to warn him right now. The ref's going to warn him. I think he's going to have to warn him. Yeah, warning. He has to give him a warning. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it happened, but it's okay.
I wonder if Cece just actually kind of knew that.
Yeah.
But because I think Darren was maybe mentioning that to referee Daly over there.
Yeah.
So, but that is the rule. If the referee doesn't mention it, it can't happen.
Yeah, and I think Cece knew. I mean, either way, we all knew, because Cece just went, it's like, hey, I'm not missing a red here. It's not, and it's a big swing, right? Well, I say swing, but that would kill any momentum, really, because it's already 2-0. Looks like Steven's on a way break here too on the side table as well. Steven's such a consistent player as well. I know we're not looking at that currently in the match, but just to let you guys know, he's 2-0 up. It's hard to get a groove against here. That's the thing. Romel's going to have to find some way to get a groove into this match. Same with CC, really, right? I mean, 2-0 down. I think he's 30 points down in this game. That's the thing about Darren and some of these top guys. Tactically, they're very, very strong, and they just know how to keep the momentum going. It's very hard to let it disrupt. That's a good shot.
Yeah, last night's game in that quarterfinal was definitely momentum. Darren had it at the beginning.
Oh, wow.
Renat found something and really swung it and forced us into an exciting decider.
Well, it was ironic too. We were talking about that too, because I think momentum massively was in Renat's favour, right? Because obviously he's come back to 3-3. But the other thing was, if you noticed, it was a really kind of low-scoring game. Not that my games were high-scoring either, they weren't. But it was a very low scoring for the comparisons of the previous games, right? And Renat was talking about this last night too. I had a chance to talk to him about it. And one of the things he's commented on is he really, against very good players, he takes a while to get going. Like, so for example, like, you know, he gives them the momentum, and then sometimes it's too late, which was what the situation was last night. Because if he would have played those first three frames the way he played the next 3 frames, the match was over in Renat's favour, right?
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, he didn't do that. So, and not taken away from Darren as well. You know, Darren was playing very well as well. But that's the thing, right? It's such a momentum swing sometimes, and you just have to keep that ball rolling. So, like, this is a big frame for CC as well. It needs to, if he can come back and win this frame, it'll at least slow down the momentum massively. You don't want to put, as the pool players say on the hill, right? I've been stealing my pool lingo, but
I'm not familiar with that term.
on the hill. It's funny, I've been saying certain words and I'm like, wow, I'm such a pool player now. Scratch, what's the other ones? I'm trying to think. Scratch. Gotta put some English on the ball. What's the other one?
It's doubles, plants, and in and offs in this game over here. So
yeah. Anyway. See, the thing is here, I think if I was CC, I'd think about trying to get one of those colours out, right? Because I mean, 30 points behind. And you've got the pink, blue, and black. I mean, mostly maybe the pink isn't safe, but it's not ideal, right? So, yeah, he's looking at it now. So, I mean, just drop. The nice thing about going for this red is, if he leaves the cue ball where it is, predominantly he only misses or leaves the red that he's going for, as well as the red that's kind of to the right of the pink spot, like lower down. So I think he'll just go for this and just hold. Yeah, that's the right shot. It's a good shot. Now the 2 reds go right, so he's just got to pass the pink spot. I think that's what he's going to try. So he actually plays with a 16th ounce cue. I was talking to him the other day. He's had this cue for like 30 plus years. He's not changed it. It was a really, really old cue. Has he gone too far? I think he's okay. Thank you for streaming the event, though. We appreciate you guys. The quality has been immense, especially when you were commenting about the fact like you guys zoomed in last night to see if we could masse around a particular shot or something like that. And I was surprised like you zoomed in so far and it was still like HD. I was like, wow, it's not turned into like 16 blocks, you know? So thank you guys for all the work you guys are doing too, and Embassy as well. Thank you for doing a great job of hosting as well. So.
Well, we're creating quite a community environment. Lots of people, you know, players on the table, streamers, commentators, referees, and scorekeepers. You know, we need everybody to make the machine continue to work.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing a good job to at least get exposure, because you never know what kind of youngster might be tuning into this someday and might be inspired to pick up a cue.
Yeah, absolutely. So CC's in here, so I mean, he might be forced to take the blue here. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't take that. Yeah, I don't know. This is. I don't know about this shot, to be honest with you. Because I don't think you're going to get on a red off, right? I don't think there's enough angle to get on a red here. Is there? Okay, then I take that back. There is. Beautiful shot. Oh, he hit it too nice. Look at that. I think he might be forced to go for this. I mean, the red to middle potentially. He could also hit this red thin on the bottom, on the cushion, and try and get the black out as well. I mean, he's 33 points now, so he's just playing safe up behind the green, I would guess. See, Darren will probably want to play safe here, but he probably doesn't want to open up too much. Unless he can push the red by the black. How many people do you have tuned in? Curious to have a view count.
We're getting close to a maxi. There's 141 viewers right now.
Awesome.
On various platforms. We have St. Gabriel's Embassy Billiards Club YouTube channel and Ox Billiards channel on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV. So
awesome.
Definitely like and subscribe. Yeah, the figures have been great all weekend long. It's definitely growing.
101 for 141, that's awesome.
It's amazing the leaps and bounds that we've gone. As I alluded to, that first Richter Cup that I did back in Montreal, we were actually in a back room of the club. So unfortunately we couldn't see the actually physical table from where we were. And they only had the frame line there with the scoring software. We didn't have the updated scoring software that we have now. So I had a gentleman come and give me post-it notes of updating the frame score.
Oh my days. Might as well send a carrier pigeon at that point.
True.
See, now the balls are open, right? So that was a big shot for CC to make. I think Darren's going to go for this. I don't see... He will only go for it if he can get the cue ball back, right? So... Yeah, see, I think he can squeeze by the pink.
Yeah, got this red in the middle of those three in a line, just below the pink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. You see, this is the situation now. I mean, we were talking about the blue, pink, black being safe. They've opened up now, all of them, right? He might have gone too far. Let's see, or is that okay? Yeah. He's okay. I see Chuck said good effort. Thank you, Chuck. I just saw your YouTube comment. Thank you for that.
So, Sargon, are you going to be coming down to Brazil to play in the PAPS?
I'm not. No, I'm not. I will eventually come to some of these tournaments. It's just a little bit crazy for me at the minute. Traveling that far as well. This is tough. I've got a newborn, so I've got a 4-year-old and a 2-month-old. So, shout out for the other half taking care of those little nuggets. So, but yeah, it's been a little bit crazy for me too. It's just, it's time-wise, it's a bit challenging, right? And then with work as well at the minute. But no, I will eventually make them. I do want to. I'm not too far from the seniors requirements. So, but yeah, I will. I will eventually be out there. So, God willing. So, but yeah, it's in Brazil this year, correct? Is that what you said?
Down at the Rio Yacht Club in Rio de Janeiro.
Okay. Are you going?
It's looking promising, yes.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome.
Dave Priest. It's David Burney, and joined by Sargon Isaac. That is the man that has a little twang in his voice. Might not sound fully American or Canadian.
Yeah.
So good opportunity here for Cece to get back into this frame.
Absolutely. I mean, he's just going to have to navigate the pink, unfortunately. I don't see any other option apart from the red closest to the black spot. Yeah, I think that's the shot. See, the pink I don't think goes past, though. That's the other problem, right? So the pink doesn't go past this red, I don't believe, on the left. So you might have to go back up the table. I mean, I'd be looking to get blue here, getting blue back on the spot, right? So just going whipping it around, and then using the blue to get back. It's so tricky when one ball is out of the question, right? If black was on the spot, it'd be a lot easier right now. I don't know, was he trying to play the pink into the centre, I think, right? Is that what he was trying to do? Just a bit under hit it with bottom, I believe, so... He's got to go for this, he has to. I don't think he can hit the red 4 ball too, so it might drift left. Yeah. It's a great shot. Also, these pockets are tournament cut pockets too, so they're a little bit tricky with these shots too. I was definitely missing a few sitters yesterday, so there's 2 tournament tables and 2 club size pockets too, just for the viewers as well. So these are tournament cut tables, and pockets are very, very tricky, especially from these tight angles and at speed. It's funny because my pool friends, and you're probably familiar with this too, my pool friends will be like, "Oh, the pockets are so tight." I'm like, "Come to a 12-foot snooker table or like a tournament cut Rasson or something." You know, it's a. But anyway, you much of a pool player or just primarily snooker?
I do the backstroke and the butterfly. Oh, wrong pool. Sorry. I dabble a little bit. I think back when I was got into it, I do remember. Ooh, that could be a bit.
That's going to be costly. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to put it back here.
I always remember, playing a little 8-ball or 9-ball.
Mm-hmm.
But golf was the big game that I got into when I was young, and that kind of was the
snooker golf or golf.
Golf.
Okay.
Well, the only golf I play is with trees and bunkers.
I prefer
Not
that
Skittles
golf too. Not Skittles. Love it. Yeah, so I think he's putting it. He's putting it back. I don't know if I like that shot, to be honest with you, because he was in the balls.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The only benefit of that is that the pink goes back on its spot. Right. But he could see the red, I believe. I think he could see the red. So.
Referee Daly will just check with both players when everyone's in agreements. It's time to play on. It's a great thing about our game, sportsmanship.
Oh, wow. It's pink again?
It's pretty much the exact same shot. Looked like a carbon copy of the last.
So, I mean, he was 30-something points down. He was 30 points down, and now, I think more than 30, right? And now it's completely level from that small break in 2 foul. So I didn't want to yawn. So for those wanting Stephen Wong and Ramal updates, there's a 43 different Stevens ahead, 43 points with 3 reds on the table. Yeah, I don't think Darren has a nickname yet, to be honest with you. I don't know, but he's definitely a cueist.
Mhm.
I actually didn't see David Taylor play, but I heard great, of Darren and other people too. There's obviously, if you're ranked on winning tournaments the way he is, I'm sure he's a solid player.
Darren could be the silver bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver baby Fox, Fox
Who
Jr.
knows? Yeah. Obviously, he doesn't like to carry a full head of hair like his dad did, but if you have a silver head there, he might look like Destro from G.I. Joe. Darren definitely an intimidating figure. When I came in, I was talking with referee Daly, and we're like, "Who's that guy over there? He looks like a Bond villain." And then got to know Darren as sweetest
Nice guy.
of gents.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, great guy.
Yami Daz was his UK
Jammy
nickname.
Daz. Jammy as in lucky, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jammy Daz. I haven't heard that word in a long time, David. Jammy. You used to hear that all the time. You jammy. And I can't say the other word, obviously, if it's not stream appropriate, but, Well,
Sure.
there's a few words that follow that, but,
Family show. Yes, it's the first time I've ever heard that, so
yeah.
I'm learning as well.
We're going to, they're going to switch back and forth, I believe, on the streams as well. We
Maybe
can
it's
see.
kind of getting a little tactile flair here. Let's just take a peek over there at table 2, just see what Stephen and Romil are getting up to here.
So Stephen is up 43 points. It's become a tactical battle. I mean, Stephen's doing the right thing, right? He's put all the colours pretty much safe.
Yep. Red is his frame ball. Yeah. Another red in color really to assure the deal and give him a commanding 3-0 advantage in this best of 7 match.
Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously, Rommel has to win the next game to slow down Stephen's momentum, right? I mean, obviously, otherwise he's done. Stephen's such a consistent player, too. That's the other thing as well, right? Like, and there's a few of them that put so much time into the game. And funny enough, all 4 of them, I'm just looking at all 4 of them in the lineup. Pretty much all of them are very active in mechanics and approach and just time in the game, right? Rommel, a lot of time in the game. Stephen, a lot of time in the game. CC, a lot of time in the game. Darren, a lot of time in the game. Darren and Rommel, I say that and he just missed an easy play, but it should be under frame.
That's a concession there. So Stephen Wong, owner of the Embassy Billiards Club here, has a commanding 3-0 to lead over Romil Azmat, all the way from Arizona. Funny enough that the 3 of these players in the semifinals own clubs.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. And I was just thinking about it from a time perspective they're playing, and I didn't even think about the club ownership. You hit the nail on the head. See, pretty much all 4 of these guys, regardless of how they're playing right now, have pretty much approached every shot very similar, right? Like in terms of mechanics, in terms of, it could be a ball on the cushion, it could be, they're 60 points up, they're 60 points down. They really never get flustered. They just depend on, and you have to do that, especially in this game too, because you have to depend on your fundamentals with the tables being so tight, right? So, but back to this game anyway. So I think, see the tricky situation here, right? Because predominantly doesn't want to go for. He has to go for the 2 reds, but he doesn't want to make sure he misses the black. I would try and play behind the right-hand side of the reds, so you come up from behind the reds. Because if you go trying to hit the red off 2 cushions. Oh, he's going left. This is hard to judge, actually. He's going to have to get it on the way back. Yeah, it's going to slide. I don't think he's going to get it. Oh, what an effort. Oh, nice try. He did get the line perfectly. See, every time it hits the cushion at that speed too, it slides a little bit, right? So, but that was a great shot. I was thinking more from going, where would you have played this? Same angle? I was thinking going up towards the top where the referee is, and then right, and then that way, but I didn't realize you could see so much past the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But that was a great effort, to be fair. You don't want to go off 2 cushions because that's where you could hit the black. You want to go behind it. See, he's going to slide again, I think. Yeah, it's not going to get there, I don't think. I mean, if I was lining this up right, I would try and shoot. I'm to sound like a pool player, but I would aim for the black off 2 cushions because it's going to slide a little bit, right? So by the time it hits the 2 cushions, you should get closer to those 2 reds.
That's a good piece of advice for
Yeah.
new and younger players, knowing that it's going to slide.
So see, look. See, that's too much now, but he was trying to play off 2 cushions this time. See, the thing is, Darren's going to just keep putting it back, right? Unless obviously a miss is not called from the attempt, because there's no advantage gain. Pink is gone, black is gone, and they're not easy to make off these cushions, right? Unless he has a clear shot, and there's no need to go for it either. So I don't see this. We might be here a while unless he can. I mean, the other shot is that he gets the spider and plays the white up table and goes for the red by the pink. That way, he's unlikely to hit the pink, right? Because he's coming from the direction between the plane of the red and the pink. I think he's going 3 cushions again. What do you think?
I think so too.
See, did he play towards the black now? No, he had the line, but I don't think he has enough speed. Wow.
It's a game of millimeters.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? But see, why not? I know his concern was that he doesn't want to hit it too hard, right, to open it up. But at this point, he just has to get out. Because even if he opens it up, the blue, pink, and black is safe. So just hit it hard. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, potentially, obviously, in the early stages of this snooker situation that he's in, possibly that's the case, but these points are really building up.
I mean, if you keep missing it, right, it's becoming 2 misses. It's pretty much red and black. He's going to hit a bit harder this time, my guess. There you go. But see, now it's, like you play for the black, see? And then it's going to come up. There you go. Great shot.
Definitely the pendulum is in Darren's favor here. As you alluded to, Sargon, high-valued colored balls are on the cushion.
Yeah, and I know there's a sorry, I cut you off, I believe. Go ahead.
No? Yeah, he just needs the, you can take a screen, another red.
Yeah, he's got no intention of opening up the pink or the black, right? He's got a little bit of a lead. Slows CC down a little bit. Now he's just going to go for the red and leave the white where it is, just to make it easier to make. He might even play safe after this if he makes it. Is he not going for it? Let's see.
Snooker players, they're the neatest players I've ever seen, always cleaning up the table.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
That's a good shot.
That was very nice.
I'll be surprised if he goes for this. He
Yeah.
can, yeah.
CC's definitely reeling a little bit from that last escape attempt, and just last thing he wants to be is probably back at another snooker.
Yeah. I mean, if I was to guess the shot here, he's going to put the yellow on the cushion and white behind the blue. That's what I would do personally. There you go. I think you can see it there. So there's the other game now as well. Stevens, it's going to be... Ramel's got to go for it now, because he's just FYI for the streamer too. I don't know if we can... We'll go back to that match in a second. But that is 3-0 for Steven, who won that. He's obviously hoping to defend his title this year.
CC's definitely feeling that's a poor shot there. Left a mid-range red for Darren. Yeah, at the climax of this frame, we'll probably jump over to Steven and Romeo.
This is a big moment right here. So he's 22. I'm just doing the math in my head. 22. I mean, he has a fairly easy save as well. But I feel like basically, I mean, sometimes you just have to go for it, right? But the problem is here, there's no really any easy color. I think he's thinking the same thing. I'm thinking, like, what do I do here? He could just hit, another shot is he could just hit it behind the yellow as well. But if he leaves it on, it's easy safety for Darren. Yeah, he's not really sure. I don't blame him. It's kind of a tricky situation.
It's a tall order to steal this frame. It is there, but sometimes just a little bit of patience.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those frames where if he wants to win, he's going to have to take 1 or 2 balls at a time, safe. 1 or 2 balls at a time, safe. It's going to have to be one of those grid. Yeah, he just felt like he had to go for it. If he can see 4 ball here, Darren can see 4 ball. CC might be in trouble here. We'll just put the red by the black and just leave the cue ball where the red is. Pull it back a little bit just to make sure there's more of a fuller ball snooker. There you go. Yeah, I think you can see it. Oh wow, what a shot. What a shot. Wow. And the pink is covering the side. Wow, that's an incredible shot. So he swerved it, hit it thin, cue ball. I mean, I don't know if he meant it, but either way, it's an incredible shot. I don't think he can come to the bottom too, because the black's in the way. I think he can, yeah, he can, judging by how he's looking at it, maybe he can swerve it around the green. But the pink, like I was saying, the pink is blocking off the cushion. And the black is almost blocking the bottom. Oh, so he can see it. See, if I was CC here, I would play it off the black and put the cue ball up the table, because you want to get the black out.
So you're coming left or right side of the brown?
So I would come right hand side of, sorry, from his angle with the left, from where we're looking at it, the right, and just bring the black out. Like, it might actually go closer, like almost like that pool shot, like what do you call it, a carom shot. I don't know what the correct pool terminology is for it, but you're playing. I mean, you have to hope the red goes safe on the bottom cushion still, but you get the black. You want to get the black into play and put the cue ball at the top of the table. Oh, he slow rolled it. That's going to be dangerous. Brilliant shot. Brilliant shot. So he judged I think he just judged the double kiss perfectly. Oh, this is going to be trouble for Darren now. I think the blue's covering up table. Do you play the famous off the middle pocket jaw to come back for the red? I mean, I don't see other options to... okay, so he can go past the yellow on the left-hand side, but he has to watch out for the pink on the way back. He can also go on the right-hand side of the green and put loads of right-hand side. But, I mean, either way, the shots I'm saying are very difficult, but I don't see... Yeah, he's doing
cushions.
that. Yeah, but the problem is going right is that you have to just miss the green. He has to just miss it. See, that's the... This is going to be a lot of points, I believe. I mean, that's a... Oh, wow, that actually might be... No, he would probably want to put it back so he can't swerve it. Yeah. I don't think it was that close, right? Was it a little bit to the right?
Referee Daly has been doing a great job.
Yeah, he clarified a rule for me yesterday. I actually completely forgot during my match too. He did a fantastic job. I thanked him after the match, actually. I was a little bit confused on the miss rule too. It's been a while since I've been in a situation with this specific miss rule that came into counter as the... it was the... Just to clarify, the actual situation was... If you needed a snooker at the time of the snooker and you fouled, but after the foul you don't need a snooker, is it a miss? And some people were saying yes and some people were saying no. And it was actually no, it was not a miss. It has to be at the point of where you hit the ball and the point afterwards. If both of those scenarios is the point difference is greater than what's on the table, then it's a miss. Which was nice to get some clarification on that. So I think Christian is just pointing out where the cue ball was roughly. So, but that's the beauty about you guys being here on the stream, right? We can kind of point it out, and I mean they're doing that today.
Bit better attempt there. A little bit more of adjustment. So David Brock. Do you know David Brock?
David Brock. Do I know David Brock? Maybe face. David Brock. Which David Brock is this? Well,
The
I don't know.
world famous David Brock.
David Brock. Okay, I'm going to find out who this David Brock is right now. David Brock. I'm coming for you here. Let me see. David Brock. That's hilarious. The David Brock.
Missed it. Has he got it this time? Oh. Just missed the green, but then just missed the red. So, as you accurately said, Sargon, this is a costly affair here for Darren.
Yeah, he's gonna. I mean, we were talking. I mean, recall we were talking about having to get the colours on the table, having to find a way, going for some balls, being a bit more aggressive, just to find an opportunity to get, you know, those 15 points difference, which is very difficult when all the colours, the key colours are on the cushion, right? I don't think, you know, it's going to be... And look where we're at now. I mean, most snookers you can get out of, you know, within a few attempts, right? Like, look at Cece's, for example. You know, I don't see... I don't... And I didn't see the last shot, but I think he went by the green again, right? Is he doing that again?
Just flicked into the green on the previous shot.
Yeah, that was what we were talking about the first one, right? That's the problem with the right. He's going. What a shot.
There it is.
What a shot. What a shot.
You know,
It's funny when it's the fifth or sixth attempt. You're like, why didn't you do that first time, right? You always think like that.
might be in a bit of trouble too here.
Yeah, see, he wants to... If he can get it close to the pink, that'd be great, right? Get it close to the pink and don't leave the red on the cushion. Or over the bag. That's a good shot. So you always want to push it or leave it around the bag, but not in front of it, because, I mean, any contact, you might push it in. So we might have to go back to the other match soon, because I know it's a bat or two on the final frame. So David, I don't know if we know each other. Do we know each other, David? I was just taking a look at
Well, there are a lot of Davids in the game of snooker.
There is a lot of Davids.
David Brock, myself, David Burney, Dave Daly, David Vine,
I think
David Gilbert, David Taylor.
Oh.
So for all you new players, the red will not come back up if a red goes in and off on the cue ball. Reds don't come up, but colors do come back up, even if they were on the color.
So, I mean, he's 7 points up here now, and he just needs to the blue. So, see, although we were talking about, it's important, swept his feet. We were talking about earlier, Dave, right? We were talking about how pink and black is in a great position for Darren. Well, now it's actually come as a curse, right? Because these 3 balls, he's quite easy, well, the green and the brown he should make. Blue is a little bit tricky. I think if he's dead straight in the brown, it makes it a little bit tricky. Oh, got you, David. Okay. Nice to meet you, David, anyway. So. This is a huge frame for CC. Huge frame. I mean, 3-0 or 2-1. That's a huge, huge frame. He's guaranteed a break at this point. If he was to make this blue. Nothing special, just roll it in. Oof.
Definitely thought about it.
Yeah. He kind of snatched at that too. Did you see? He kind of hesitated towards the follow through bit. I mean, you got to go for it, right? I mean, it's 1 snooker, I believe. So, oh no, 2 snookers actually, sorry. He's going to go for it.
21 in it. 13 on the table. Yeah, I want to stick at that blackout.
I think we should go to can we go to the Romel match? Because I know he's mid-break, and I know that it's very unlikely getting, unless he gets that black off the cushion, we're going to get a snooker here. So we'll go back to Romel's match. So this is going to be a gritty game here. Yeah, CC just to clarify, CC just made the pink on the other table too. So that frame is the end of that makes the end of frame. CC takes that game. Now it's 2-1. Okay. Obviously, I mean, I could state the obvious here and say this is a big frame for Romel, but it's absolutely a big frame for Romel. You have to slow Stephen down here. Both great friends of mine too, so It's interesting to see. It's hard to see somebody take a loss here. Both brilliant players. I know, both feeling the pressure a little bit. That was a bad mistake by Ramal. He can squeeze through, I believe, and see that red. I don't see many options here, actually. I think, yeah, that's the right shot right there. I mean, he's...
Yeah, not many options on that, as you said.
Yeah, and just to kind of take a little bit further what Ivan's saying, right? I mean, the standard of the pros is unreal, right? These tables are super, super tight, and those phrases are used a lot in pool and snooker and stuff like that, but I can promise you guys these tables are super tight. And that was a great shot right there, because he used that angle there to cover the left red as well to get back to the balk. I don't think you can see a red apart from the red by...
Yeah, it just goes to show you how tough this game is and how proficient the pros are. Spending hours upon hours of practice. I know a lot of people, a lot was made up of Luca Bassel, 2023 world champion. You know, he came off and said in an interview he wasn't really practicing that much, and kind of the media ate that up a lot, but we were fortunate to have him do an exhibition at Ox Billiards.
That's brilliant.
And he was telling us that when he started, you couldn't get him away from the snooker table. He was in there 12 hours a day just practicing. So
yeah,
I think he does have a point sometimes. You're not going to find your game at these big tournaments. You've done all the practicing leading up to it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's funny, one of the, I think somebody, I think it was either Steven or Ramel, and we were playing, don't recall where we were playing, what night we were playing here, we were practicing. And I have not played snooker at all in the last few months, or even probably the last few years, as much as I wanted to. Hardly anything, if anything. And we were here the other night, and I had practice, I think, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like 12 hours or something, 10 hours of practice with somebody else's cue. And then we tried to get another practice in, and I think Ramel or somebody had said, if we're not ready now, then we're really not ready, right? You know, basically, because we put so much time in, like they've put so much time in over the years, like what's going to drastically change in the next hour, right? I mean, his point was that, you know, we've already put so much time in, and they genuinely have. And the same with the pros too. It's just more of a game day preparation thing at that point too, right? It's kind of like, it reminds me of school when I do that last minute, how they called it, revising, last minute studying for my final exam. Like that was going to help me, and it still absolutely did terrible. But no, I hear you. They're putting all that time, and I think he referred to be like, what did he say? Something in the interview, was it like partying as well? He's like, I just went out with my mates and stuff like that, you know, like before something like that, or like just relaxing really with friends before the major competitions and stuff like that too. So major worlds, I should say. But
yeah, and I guess that's your definition of partying as well has to come into play there, as I was fortunate enough to be at Sheffield, and I did see Luke after one of his matches, and you know, he was at the host hotel there in Sheffield, And maybe he's having a beer with some friends.
Yeah,
some
and I didn't mean, sorry, I
supporters.
didn't mean it like you know, when I'm saying partying, I don't mean it
Yes.
like that. I just mean like out, like enjoying yourself, you know, in the sense of having a few beers or just like, you know, typically most people wouldn't do before a major
Mhm.
match, right? So that's nice to do that, yeah, and play so well.
So I think when they say partying, it paints a picture in people's minds.
Yeah, exactly, you know. Or like when you say you're out with your mates, it sounds more, you know, like, hey, like you've got the glow sticks out in the middle of a dance floor somewhere, but that's not the case, you know. But anyway, so. So Ramala's, I mean, what, there's 18 down. Blue and black on the spot. Let's see if we can get this in and start the ball rolling. Yeah, Ramela's struggling. I know we both were struggling a little bit too. It's hard to get momentum on these tables, especially when you've missed a few. It's hard to find that momentum and just start making balls, right?
Mhm.
And especially too on the stream as well, and you're just trying to get some momentum going, and it's very, very challenging. So
the big question, Sargon, as you alluded to, you got
Yep.
some youngsters. So you're going to be purchasing one of those 6-foot small snooker tables that they can.
where do they have them? I saw it floating around on Facebook too. I think that's genius. Is it just is it just basically for half the table, or is it a miniature version of that? I thought
it's a miniature version.
that's awesome. And it has actual snooker balls on it, like snooker size dimensions and stuff, but just smaller pockets. Is that what it is?
Not fully sure. I think
Yeah.
maybe they might be maybe less than 2 inches, just because to get the right ratio, I guess.
Exactly. Okay, that'd be cool though. You know, you should send me, or if anybody has the details on that too. I'm just generally curious on how that works. I mean, if it's the same pocket size, except obviously just this smaller table, that's a great idea. I mean, that's the big problem, right? Like finding room for a snooker table too. Actually, my second title I won, didn't have the opportunity to play on so much snooker, but there's a place that's been really good to me. It's called Diamond Billiards in Modesto, and they had a golf table, like golf snooker table, and so I was playing on that a lot with snooker balls, and it was so tight, and that really helped me. But that was my prep for the thing, that I was just able to hit the ball on that table to just try and get yellow, green, brown, blue, pink, black, and it was nearly impossible to do. But yeah, that's the thing too as well, like just finding the room for, like, if you guys have not seen a snooker table in person, it's not the fact that the snooker table is big, which it is. It's 12 foot. I think you need 22 feet in length to, obviously with the table and the room to get down on your shot, right? 5 foot,
Yeah.
5 foot each. I think it was 22 feet. If somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I think so, like a 22 by 25 foot.
Something
room,
like that,
so
yeah,
maybe-
something like that. Because obviously you need room to be able to get down the shot and bring the cue back, right? So I think it's not just like you said, this place that you play snooker at. Was it Top 147 you had mentioned? Like,
Correct.
it's just finding, yeah, a lot of pool halls big, but just finding the kind of area to have a snooker table and the space to get around it, and sit down and have a scoreboard on the wall and stuff like that too. It's not easy, but yeah.
And real estate is just getting so pricey these days.
Exactly, yeah,
And just-
exactly. But yeah, no, I think I'm interested to see where snooker takes off in Canada and the US with the young kids, because I know there's a lot of people interested. I think the people that typically find out about it are the people that come to these pool halls and then just see this big large object with a green cloth on it. It's like, hey, what is this? And then they get some background on it. It's like, hey, snooker table, and they just start playing on it. I think that's probably what I found, like some of these young players getting into snooker is predominantly done. But yeah, I'll be interested to see where it takes off. I know pool has exploded with the youth, right?
Mhm.
And there's still a lot of room to grow there too. Snooker, I'm just not sure yet how it will take off with the youngsters too, unless they have available facilities nearby them, or like you said, get this 6 foot table that you were referring to. So the dimensions that are around the table needed is 20 by 24. Okay, thank you, Praneet. Yeah, I knew it was around 25 or something like that for the length, but thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, that does help. Thank you. Yeah, I was just curious. We were just talking about dimensions, and
I think a big thing that will definitely help this game, the Olympics.
yeah, and I was talking to somebody about that too. I'm still kind of bamboozled on why it's not in there, especially with some sports that are in there today. But
Yeah. Esports. I think it's going to be a demonstration at the next Olympics.
yeah, it's just kind of. I mean, it's really kind of just disappointing, isn't it? Like I don't know if at this point if it's something with billiards, like whether it's the gambling aspect or the social aspect of it. I don't know if it's that.
I think it might be the old stigma. Like people when they hear, especially pool hall, let's say.
Yeah.
Pool hall, dark room, smoke filled. Obviously, not smoking rooms anymore. Shady characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But maybe we should get in the culture of just calling it like a billiard lounge or a snooker room.
Yeah.
That might paint a better picture.
Yeah, and just to add on that too, I think when I think billiard hall, stuff like that, okay, so I've noticed two very distinct atmospheres, especially in snooker, especially in pool. And I've noticed English pool too kind of follow the American pool scene where it's like, the music and it's just more kind of a relaxed environment. Snooker I've always seen as like, if you go to a snooker tournament, like you complete silence, right? It's like full of etiquette in the game too. And I'm not saying there's not etiquette in pool, there is. But especially a lot of the pool tournaments I've been to, it's been very hard they've tried to like clamp down on dress code or clamp down on, just like attire and stuff like that too. And I think all those things help. But like you said, apart from all that on the side, it's the stigma, like you were saying, right? Like it's like just the image associated with like certain titles of the name or certain of the game, and I think also the confusion about how many games there are as well doesn't help as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The interesting thing is you go, like, lots of places have small bar tables at any pub or bar establishment. You'll usually run into a pool table, so there are a lot of people that do enjoy their cue sports.
Yeah.
Because I know we're not just talking just getting only snooker into the Olympics, but they were talking about other disciplines, like I think English billiards and 9-ball and snooker would be the three that they would bring into the Olympics.
Yeah, yeah.
I think as well a World Cup, bringing that back onto the circuit and getting in touch with other countries. As much as, sure, we put an American team and a Canadian team over in the World Cup, are they going to fare as strongly as the English or Scottish team? Probably not. But
hey, but that's a World Cup, right? I mean, you see you see plenty of events where they send participants and like they get smashed by other countries, whether it's in many different sports. I see that all the time too. But it's about having that ability, like you said, to be able to participate, right? If you choose to say, maybe it'll be completely different. Like World Cups, like the standard would be from, like you said, from the lowest to the highest. But like you said, getting people together, it would be a huge opportunity to be able to do that too. And it just increases growth for the game too, as well as viewership and all that stuff too. But no, I agree with you.
Inspires, if a fellow countryman is like, hey, I'm from Canada or I'm from America, and so is that person, and they're playing this game. That's kind of inspiring.
Exactly, yeah.
If they can do it, why can't I?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So anyway, back to the game. I think Ramal's got an opportunity, so it's 50. I'm just doing the maths in my head. It's 45 in it, so it'll be good if he got a snooker here, actually, but I mean, he should be able to get out of it, so yeah, he went too far, I believe. What time is the final? That's a good question.
2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We're on the daylight. Obviously, that's interesting function over here in North America, where sometimes we're on standard time or daylight time, but it's 2 p.m., so that'll be coming up in about 3 hours. That's when it's scheduled, obviously. There will be a little break between the semifinals and finals. But Stephen is doing a great job here. He potentially could have a whitewash victory, and that could get us there quicker. And Darren is up 2-1, but CC battled back in that third frame. And they're just got a fair amount of reds over there, so I think we're just going to maybe kind of stick with this table and hopefully see it come to a climax of this frame. It could be even a match winner for Stephen.
Yeah, let's... This could be it, actually. Right here, so if he's got a shot of the black. he might try to go to the black and just end the match here.
Yeah,
This might be it.
put the nail in the coffin.
No, I missed it. Oh, he conceded.
Concession there. Yeah, I think just Ramil was just not feeling it there. So Stephen Wong, last year's champion, is going back to the promised land. Can he be? Well, Raymond Fung, who's on the stream, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, Raymond. But I don't know if there must be a back-to-back. Did you win back-to-back? Ahmad won back-to-back championships when you won this championship.
So I won it in 2012. I honestly forgot what years, to be honest with you. Was it 15 and 16? Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot it. I think there was 1 year I won back-to-back. Houston and New York, maybe? Yeah, I'd have to double check. It's been a while, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's kind of embarrassing that I don't know the actual dates. But yeah, there was 3 times I've won it so far. So I was fortunate, like you were talking about the, like the World Cup and stuff. I was fortunate to be able to like represent US as well. That was a huge blessing as well. I went to Bulgaria and played some really top-notch players as well. But yeah, 3 years, I think, between 2015 2016. And then I took a break from snooker, so I've not really played in the last 4 or 5 years, I believe. I think the last one I was in New York, probably around 4 to 5 years ago now. So, wow, Raymond knows it better than I do.
True.
All right, we're here with the winner. He's giving me a back hug.
He'll be in the final again for the 2nd year running.
Congratulations, Stephen. Well played.
Thank you. Good job.
Well played. Do you want him to talk? Do you want to chat with him, or?
He's a man of few words, but he's a man of action. That's for sure.
Great host,
But
great
this
player.
is,
So,
a nice.
thank you, Ray. I honestly forgot. Yeah, it was 2012, 15, and 16. So, thank you, Ray, for the clarification. So.
So this is definitely looking promising here for Darren.
Yeah.
30 breaks so far and counting. Yeah, I really can't see it. Difficult situation here for Darren. Excellent opportunity to take a 3-1 advantage.
He cues so smoothly. It's like it's just very robotic. I love it. His cue's very light as well. I don't know if I said this, but it's 16 ounces, so very, very light cue for a big guy as well. Easy cannon here on the red. Beautiful shot. Probably that red went a little bit further than he liked.
So from a player point of perspective, Sargon,
Mm-hmm.
what do you feel in here as your CC sitting in the chair? Are you letting your mind kind of drift away about something more pleasant?
You know, that's such a great question. So if somebody can pull up the name of the gentleman, there's a sports psychiatrist actually, and he was, and I'll go back to what you said, but I'm leading up to it, sorry. So basically, sports psychiatrist in England, and he works with all these famous teams and different teams and stuff, and different sports I should say. And he was talking about the complexity of snooker, and he was talking about, he's worked with many people, but there's no game like snooker. And the reason he was saying that is because if you think about it, there's 2 things. One is there's no game like, and he didn't say this, but something I was talking to some other people about this, and I'll talk about his point, but he was talking about there's no game where you, or maybe there was 1 or 2, but where you can't do anything when somebody's at the table, right? You just have to hope they miss, right? Every other sport, you have an opportunity to stop them, right? Like football, and when I say football, there's soccer here, you have the ability to, go take them out, slide tackle, go defend, right? Any of the American football, you have the opportunity to stop them. Tennis, you have the opportunity to hit it back. Like, there's no sport where you just sit here. And then he was talking from about a psychological standpoint. It's like, if you imagine these pros are, making, and yes or no, sometimes they're not the quickest players, making centuries. You break off, and it's not like a safety battle, right? Like safety battle, you get back to the table, you hit a ball and stuff like that. But when they're in the ball and then on the table, even pool, same thing, right? Like the running, breaking and running, breaking and running. It can be one of the most ruthless games mentally. So for CC now, he's fortunate that he's got a break, right? Because he took that last game, so he's guaranteed a break. So he's gonna have to just come back, get some fresh air too, and he's just gonna have to go for it. I mean, and just let things go and go for it. You'd rather want to go out swinging, but Darren's such a good player too. He's going to try and keep him tied down, keep balls locked up. And as I say that too, he just made a great break of 62, and that should be the end of frame 16.
Yeah, CC just nodded in concession there.
Yeah, nodded in concession.
Darren in a commanding 3-1 advantage here. Let's continue to hear these great insights here by Sargon as Dave Daly sets up the frame. So please continue. That's some good. Got some good stuff. I must admit, you're quite correct. Like in golf, you're kind of playing against the course, sometimes, and maybe match play. But you can still do something.
Absolutely.
You're in control of your shot.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. There's my mugshot.
That's where we are right here. The United States.
You want me to interview Stephen?
Snooker Association, www.snookerusa.com. That's where you're going to find out information about hopefully some great upcoming tournaments and programs that they've got going. Obviously showing that Tepshai Unu exhibition that will be happening here at Embassy come December. That's going to be lots of fun. So a great resource. Great to see updates there at snookerusa.com.
Okay, I think it's my time to step out. I think you guys are going to be interviewing Stephen Wong. So I will step out. But thank you guys for... just before I jump out, I just want to say a few things, if that's okay. So, just in case I'm not back on the mic. But yeah, thank you guys for all tuning in. We couldn't do it without you guys as well. And, thank you for Embassy as well for hosting. And looking forward to, and then there's a lot of other people here like Mike in the chat, and there's a lot of other people too, players, club owners. But yeah, looking forward to the next event. I'm not sure where it'll be unless they've already announced it. But thank you guys for all the support, and thank you guys for streaming. David, I appreciate that. And I'll pass it back to the rest of the team. I think there's going to be some interviews coming up as well. So yeah, and if anybody personally has any snooker questions, you can just reach out to me. Feel free to shoot me a message. I'm on Facebook too and some other social networks too. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions. But thank you guys for all your hard work too. And it looks like Cece's in the balls here too. So I'll put myself on mute and step out real quick. All right, take care, guys.
Thank you very much, Sargon. Great insight that we saw there. A man that definitely knows the game inside and out as a 3-time champion. And we really appreciate it. He's got good knowledge of the game, and that's definitely coming from the motherland over there in Britain. He's got a good background, so. Yeah. So back into this match, so CC's definitely is up against it here, but as we've seen, it can be tricky getting that final frame to get over the line. As Darren experienced last night, it seemed like he was on autopilot, just steamrolling Renat, but then unfortunately Renat was able to come back. So let's see if Darren, he doesn't want to repeat that. So last year's champion, owner of Embassy Billiards, finalist this year, here he is. Yeah, Stephen Wong again comes in the booth.
Yes.
The man of few words, but big actions on the table. How you doing, Stephen?
I'm still nervous about the last red. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Romeo today not too good. Just take the chance and shoot, then win.
I don't know how you can be nervous. You look like you have nerves of steel out there on the table. This is just talking like the game is difficult.
No, I'm feeling nervous because many good players right here. I want a good show and defending champion. I want to shoot. I want to break. I want everything. I want to win. I want the trophy again. Yeah.
Well, you're doing a phenomenal job of
Yes.
being able to turn that switch off. Obviously, hosting the event in your club, there's got to be times when you'd be thinking, oh, there might be something going on. I might need to be attending the club needs. But you've done an excellent job. You do have an excellent staff here that
Thank
have
you.
enabled you to turn on that player switch and
Yeah.
turn off the club owner switch.
Yeah, I want everyone enjoy the tournament, enjoy everything right here.
It's been fantastic. Everyone, the whole staff here has made us feel at home.
Yeah, thank you, Wayman. I miss you. I miss you, Wayman. You should be here.
Do you miss him so you could beat him again? Is that what you're implying there, Stephen?
No. Because we are old friends about 20 years
Mhm.
already. Yeah, that's why I want him be here.
Always good seeing old friends, that's for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I have to prepare for the final.
Okay, Stephen. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Thank you
Good
so
luck in
much.
the final, which will be coming up at 2 p.m. There he is, everybody. You'll be seeing him at about 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time in the final. Will he play Darren Taylor or CCU? Time will tell.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
All right, we got great action. I think rumor Ramil might be coming into the booth as well to commentate some of this match. Got another grinder frame at the start of this one. Feels like Darren on the cusp of punching his ticket in. Stephen awaits.
Sure, he's been in this situation before. I think he wants to probably get this match done and dusted sooner than later. Doesn't want to give CC a hint of getting back into it.
I wonder though, we are a little bit ahead of schedule, unless this match goes to a decider. Since the first one was whitewashed, it ended up a little bit early. It's 11:30 only here on the West Coast. I think we're slotted to start the final in about, 2.5 hours or so. If CC gets back in this match, brings it to a decider, I imagine it's going to be pretty close to start time as well. But I think Darren has something to say about that.
Yeah, here's over to get that first red. That black's in a nice spot there.
Ooh, look at this split here. Wow, big shot for CC. I think we're gonna get Ramil into the booth. Be right back.
Yeah, CC's just got to transport himself back into his home club of Empire Billiards up there in Renton, Washington. Just feel like this is a practice situation. We're very fortunate enough to have another special guest come into the club, the man that has done so much for the snooker scene in the rising sun state of Arizona. It's Ramil Azmat. How you doing, Ramil?
Hi there.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Congratulations. That was a tough loss, but Stephen's quite a competitor.
Yeah, I just couldn't give him any resistance, really. My hand got locked. I mean, I couldn't see angles, anything. Happens to me often, but more like in practice. It was a little bit annoying that happened in this occasion, unfortunately. That's when the good players, they know how to snap out of it and get on with it. And yeah, that's a difficulty I'm running into.
Well, it's been nice to see that you practice what you preach. as when I was watching some of your matches, when your opponent needed snookers to get back into it, you were just rolling those object balls over the pockets.
Right.
I think you were very adamant early on when you were in the booth last. We saw one match where we couldn't understand why they just weren't rolling that pink over the pocket.
Right. But it's been an absolutely fantastic tournament. Been really enjoying it. Yeah, I was really hoping that I could be in the final with Darren, be all time, all Arizona,
The AZ
final.
boys represent.
AZ boys, yeah.
I don't know if there are two Arizona players, even maybe one in the final. That's going to put a lot of pressure on your state to maybe host this wonderful tournament.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, we've been thinking about it for 5 years now to host it there, but unfortunately, there's not just not enough room
Mm-hmm.
to host, 32 players or more. But really, this is the venue. This is the venue we want to host, all the tournaments, if it's possible.
Yeah, it's always 72 in LA, so the temperature's right,
Right.
but we're mostly inside.
While I was playing, I was watching Darren as well. He's queuing really well as well today, like he did yesterday. I really never seen Darren having a bad day when we practice with each other. It's always tough practicing against him. And when you play a best of 5, best of 7, you just drain for the whole day. You want to go home and take a nap. And he just keep on going, playing the next one. He understands the game really, really well. Not only that, he's a great coach. As well.
Yeah, when he was in the booth, he was letting us know that Mike was one of his pupils.
Yeah.
Mike, who plays, I guess, out of your club out there in Arizona.
Yep.
So it's quite nice that we have those great people that can just pass off their knowledge
Yeah.
to the future generations.
I don't know if you can see the black from here. But that's the right shot to take. Cece really played well as well to get here to this stage.
Yeah, he's quite a strong player.
Yeah, I was
You feel that at some point he is going to be hoisting that Tom Collins trophy, as well as yourself.
Yeah.
You're always a battler in here, going down to the last days.
Yeah, just can't execute the last final days. But I was looking at CC's breaks, really consistent of 30s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Gotta stop watching those Jimmy White videos and see some Stivian 100 videos.
Yeah.
So what's your shot here, Emil? What are you feeling? If you're in CC shoes, what are you doing here?
I mean, you want to cut the pink thin and get the white behind the green. Or he could do this. Same outcome.
I think these players sometimes feel that we're talking and they just love to prove us wrong more often than
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I'm the type of player, I like all the colors in play. I don't like him, tight to the cushion. I always try to open them up when I play.
It's a good attacking kind of strategy, I guess.
Right,
You
right.
want to get into the balls. That being said, unfortunately that pink is on the side there. That's going to probably be sitting there for quite a while, I think.
Yeah, it's okay as long as blue and black don't play. Yeah, he's a little bit awkward in queuing here because of that red.
Yeah, good eye there, Muriel. That was just a bit peculiar with that red and forced him to unfortunately miss that shot. I don't think he's left an easy open there for Darren. This red does go into the side, but I think that red near the blue is blocking the black to go into the top left corner. So I'm just going to clip up and hopefully get behind the green here. It's a decent cue ball. Could have been better with a few more rolls to get tight to the cushion, but still creating a lot of space.
Got fortunate here a little bit.
A shot to nothing with that 5 red. Oh no, taking a... Ooh. Yeah, I thought he might take that. So 3 reds, kind of that circle, half circle there. There's one in the middle. Might have the angle to try that in the top right and take 2 cushions, go back into bulk, but that didn't happen. Took a different red and went in off.
I gotta say, Dave, even me sitting here, I can still not see the shots today.
How did that yellow come to his rescue? There's just a starter here for Darren.
Let's see if you can hold it for black. I don't think you can.
Maybe come up and down table.
Not enough pace. Just a stunt and hold it for the right red. No, he's really feeling it today.
Yeah, I think definitely that match last night against Renat is definitely going to really help with him, as he was come out of the gates, but then Ramil really fought back to force a decider, and I think Darren had to keep his bottle and just plow through. Just when we thought he was going to get going, that happens. Shaking it out. It's funny. It looks on our TV angles that
Yeah, he can see the red, right?
and draw back for the black, but maybe there's just an angle and he might cannon into the black after.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Just has to hold himself here. A good opportunity to put a lot of points on the board here. Yeah, snooker's never a game of sprints. Slow and steady wins the race.
There's a huge difference when you go from, the tables on the right side to the left side on the steel block. It's so much easier to play on the club tables. I mean, easy compared to these tables. The TV tables.
Yeah, nothing Darren can do right now. Just hoping that CC falters a bit. He might have done a little bit there. Not sure if he can get by this red for the blue. He's got to be mindful that there is a red in the bulk area.
Great shot.
Fortunately, well, no, these are not gold star tables. These are Riley tournaments, but our good friend in the booth here, Ramil, does have some wonderful star tables at his academy in Arizona. How do people find you, Ramil? Do you have a website that they can get in touch with you to get into your academy?
Yeah. The website is azsnookeracademy.com. Mostly really just, they Google us when they're in Arizona, and word of mouth mostly.
Yes, we're starved for great snooker tables, so when people hear of great conditions, word travels really fast.
Yep. We are the exclusive distributor for zinc pie tables.
Where do those tables come from?
They come from China. The factory is in Ushan. Those guys do so much for the sport. Zinc pie does.
Mm-hmm.
They literally have 3 huge castles next to each other built in Ushan. The one is the venue where they play the Chinese pool tournament, and when there's a snooker tournament, obviously they change them out and it becomes, snooker venue. And then right next to it is the academy. There's around 70 tables in that academy, and they give out scholarship and also points towards your education. They charge $10,000 per student, and that includes your stay, your food, and all your practices, coaching, and they give you an education of how to run a club, how to dismantle and install tables, how to become a fitter, and how to become a pro player. And that's why China's producing that amount of, billiard players in a high standard.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they do. They breathe snooker. They breathe pool. So, and then, not least, they have another, like a huge castle built, and that's the upcoming billiard museum, the first billiard museum ever. And construction was there, and the building is there. When I was there, they were basically doing the, everything was done. Electrical drywalls were up. They were in the final stages, and they're giving a section for U.S. So we can provide them with Hall of Fame and other different, materials. They're actually looking for cues, balls, tables. And they also had, in their showroom, they had Putin's permit table, which is pretty cool. So all those are in one section, those 3 things. And the museum is, the grand opening will be in December.
So 59 and 43 on. So Darren definitely needs a few snookers, but there's potential for a free ball. This could be really good for Snooker here.
Yeah, here's his first chance for sure.
Actually hitting that horn, put that red out. CC at least can hit it. He's not obstructed by the black. Looks like he's putting a little bit of swerve masse on it. If this red drops, it's going to be a concession. Frame CC desperately needs to continue his hope of hoisting the Tom Collins trophy a little later today. Solid as a rock. Darren is there. No emotion at all, just completely focused.
Yeah, if you call him the T-800 Terminator. I think if he wins the jackpot of 100 million, I don't think you see a smile out of him or any emotion.
We had a few chuckles in the booth, so there is a kink to his armor.
I would love to see that. Did you take a screenshot?
We'll have to talk to our stream producer, but you probably could look back in the stream and find it.
And when you see him the way that he plays here, that's exactly how he plays in practice. There's no such a thing for Darren being, playing practice or match. It's all the same.
Well, he does have a background. He was in the military, so I wonder if that has something to do with it.
Oh, for sure. I don't know. I've been in the military. I'm not like that.
So that's a concession there. So CCU is crawling back into this match. Takes the fifth frame. Still trails 3-2. It's the 2023 United States National Snooker Championship live here at Embassy Billiards in St. Gabriel, California. It's free admission to come on down. We're appreciating all the viewership on the stream, but if you're in the neighborhood, come by and say hello. It's David Burney. I've got Ramil in the booth. Christian Youngers is doing some great work with directing the beautiful pictures. And as soon as referee Dave Daly has set up the frame, we'll commence with frame 6. Stand by, everybody. we go, back at this semifinal match between CCU and Darren Taylor. Important frame here for CCU, trying to force us into a decider. Darren's been in this situation before, so hopefully he can get this match done and dusted in this frame. He doesn't want to go to a decider, as we saw it was lots of twists and turns in his quarterfinal match.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome having Sargon in the booth. Emil. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it is $5,000 for the winner. Not sure what the prize is for the high run. Right now, Renat Danka has that at 105. And as well, true, good observation there, TK. Darren, who is quite knowledgeable of the game and has been around for quite a while. Surprised that he kind of played on in that last frame nearing the end. But maybe just wanted to keep his cue arm loose. And our friends up there at Ox Billiards in Seattle, thanks for the kind words. Appreciative of all the hard work that myself, David Burney, and Christian Youngers do, as well as Dave Daly stepping up, refereeing.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff here.
He's not as tall as Jan Verhaas, but he is definitely as intimidating for sure. CC in here first.
Definitely a different player than what we were seeing earlier. Got off to a slow start in this one. Darren's just so consistently on his game. CC looks like he's more comfortable now, settled in.
Yeah, getting that first frame a few frames ago just really helped him. As we saw in our other semifinals, just Ramil was just never in that match. You know, Ramil was a very accomplished player, so sometimes surprising, but yeah, just when you're not getting that first frame, you just feel like you're struggling and just nothing can go right. And obviously it's equally as tough when you're going against a strong player like last year's champion Stephen Wong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David Brock, I think you're right. I think it was kind of a tactical way to kind of break up the sort of momentum in the match. That's why he played on in that last frame. Nothing really to do with a chance to win it. Granted, if CC does make a crucial mistake, he might be able to take opportunity, but more so just trying to switch up the rhythm and get things a little bit on a different path.
Oh, the mind games in snooker. The sports psychology. Pot had some length, so it was a little difficult. Don't think there's a plant there. He's just gonna glance out the left side of the bunch, get himself into bulk. Just needed to pull up just a little bit, just a little pacey. How's this? can see this red to right corner pocket. Not a great safety there by CC. This red is on for Darren. Once Darren gets going in the balls, he's very dangerous. Able to come into the bunch up here off the black. If you can scoot through these reds and has the angle on that red by the pink. And it's there, so the break is continuing.
So does Darren have enough? Say it.
Yeah, just when you think Darren's going, sometimes he just stutters a little bit.
So Sargon came over and gave me a little bit of a history about Tom Collins trophy. We got a replica here in the room. You can see some of the old names on the nameplate: Ahmed Ali, Paul Kimura, George, Jack Kung, who was in this tournament, Tom Collins, and it dates back all the way to 1991, this trophy, I believe.
It's a beautiful trophy that gets passed along yearly to the winner.
So I guess this is a replica, this one that we have in front of us. And I think last year they just remodeled it and have a new trophy to pass around. We'll have to get some shots of it in the room for when we bring it out for the final. But a little bit of a history there. USSA.
Nice red, just unfortunate in
just
between with the black.
A little bit short.
And a little short, a little too long, just as I like to say, betwixt and between. But it does have the yellow into the left middle. There he is, T1000. I've come from the future. I've been programmed to win at snooker.
Oh, this speed's a little bit fast. You get a little cannon on this red. It's an interesting shot here. Early on in the match, I think he had a pot kind of down this top cushion and decided to take it on, and he missed it in the first frame, which he wasn't feeling too strong. I think later on in the match, he ended up having another situation like this and had a safety in mind, so he decided to play the safe. Will he take this on, do you think? Don't think it's going to go because of kind of the blind pocket it has. But if we start seeing pots like this go down for CC, I think it could mean trouble for Darren. It's going to leave a pot. The speed's a little bit fast, and it caught the jaw of the inside of the cushion. I think it's going to pop out a little bit farther than he would have wanted.
Yeah, not an easy starter for Darren, but it is on there. A little bit tricky. Did have to play it at pace so he could get a good angle on the yellow to come back down the table. So adding the pace just makes it that much more difficult. Doesn't give the pocket a chance to bring in the ball to its bottom.
I think this cue ball might be covering the red that was missed here. And if CC manages to cover the red up table and the bulk cushion, could be trouble, but no. A little bit safety here. Trying to play the force follow. Oof, didn't want the can in the green there.
You just might be able to clip the left side on our screen, CC, and come up two cushions and come back up into bulk.
Yeah, definitely a momentum shift in this match. I mean, not along the same lines, but sort of a similar situation as the Renat match. Is going to go in. Oh, it's going to hold up. Where's the cue ball going to go? Wow, that red is on.
Hey, I think I'm seeing a little smile there by Darren. Not a happy smile, but there's a little smile from Ramil after that shot. Now he's returned to his stoic, stone face. No emotion. Let's get on with the business. It's definitely tough to tell what's going on between the ears there with Darren. Funny enough, when we had Dharma in the booth last night, I was commenting on that he looks as cool as a cucumber. Looks like he's always having a good time out there. And he was telling me that, he was very nervous, shaking around in his matches. So you don't want to really show anything to your opponent, because if they see a weakness, see a frustration, it's a perfect time to feed off that and really tie up your opponent. We saw Jackie Wee, a great competitor in this tournament early on when he was in a match. His head was in his hands, showing a lot of emotion. And luckily enough for him, his opponent didn't really pick up on that and punish him.
Yeah, CC looking strong now. So a break of 13. Still gonna need a lot of these reds.
Yeah, nice angle on this far right red of the 3 below the black. Just done up for the black, so good opportunity for CC. Ooh, that one thought about it a little bit.
A little rattle.
It's going to make your heart skip a beat.
Looks like he's going to play for the right red to right corner next. Just float this black in.
Now, that was a beautiful shot right there of referee Dave Daly spotting the balls. So many people just drop it on the spot. You want to bring that color ball onto the table and then just roll it on the spot. You start dropping it, banging it on the spots, dimples will happen and imperfections will come to the table, and you'll get an angry room owner looking at you in a non-friendly way.
Mm-hmm.
So all you newcomers, maybe even seasoned vets that don't know.
Oh no. Just got interrupted there by the miss.
True, yeah.
Uncharacteristic. I think part of the problem with that was he ended up a little bit straight on the black, so to force the angle up for that last open red, he ended up just overcutting the pot by a pretty large amount. Wow, I didn't think that was going to drop for a sec. Uh-oh. If this is blocked, this is blocking the blue, I think this could be bad for Darren. Yeah, no color on here, so he's going to have to play a safety, it looks like. Watch out, this red.
Nice snooker right there.
Just gonna go around this side of it. One cushion escape. Just try to tap this red, not leave a pot on. Just gonna be a couple attempts though, I think.
I think that one was... See if you can afford a little miss. Maybe that first one just kind of feeling out the angles there.
Mm-hmm.
Great little pictures right there. Seeing what dedication, definitely concentration our referees need, and Dave is top notch. He does a great job there.
You can see he's playing with a maple cue, not an ash cue. I believe it's a Stanford cue brand. Did well to shorten the angle on this one, but it's going to hit it a little bit harder than he would have wanted. Oof, I have a feeling he was trying to open up that red. But alas, still has a blue or brown to play for, if he chooses.
CC just trying to stay loose over there. Just staying present. I think he's going to be too happy with the next shot he's going to have to face. just trying to find exactly where he wants to put that cue ball. A real student of the game. A great teacher. Nominating blue. Yeah, we've seen him pot heavily. A couple 80 breaks in the tournament so far, but definitely knows how to lay a snooker when it is needed. Doesn't risk. Sometimes you see that a lot with the more novice player, newer player to the game. They get excited when they're on a break. They don't realize sometimes you gotta take your points and then run away. Oh, nice shot there by CC to make contact. He has brought it out. It is potable. It's 23 points in the 6th frame. And there's 35 on the table. CC hoping to be victorious in this one to force a decider. Darren wanted to get this match done and dusted so he can rest up for the final.
Wow. Seen a couple misses here from Darren late in this match. Combination with sort of a reawakening of CC's rhythm, I think, is it's causing this match to go the distance, possibly.
Yeah, it seems like Darren is a player that gets out of the gate really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Gets to go and put your back up against it, but he's just got to continue keeping that gas on the pedal.
Needs his red to roll a little bit up table, and I think he's okay. Yeah, looks like a solid snooker there.
Great pictures right there to show what Darren's dealing with.
Oh, wow, he caught that so close to the red. It's almost on the line of just potting it even.
Yeah, I think if he makes just a millimeter of adjustment there, there's a good chance that this red will find the middle pocket.
Seeing what it takes there to spot the balls. Let's go Dave Daly. A lot of people might not know, but kind of some of the tactics you use as in terms of ball spotting is sort of creating an intersection, point of intersection, and lining up two balls and see what the points to in the room maybe, or at other balls on the table, other reference points, and then lining up another axis worth of line, and then spotting it in the perfect spot. This looks pretty close to, oh dang. Has just left a free ball though. Oh. Yep, free ball on. The benefit of this situation is that CC can honestly play to clear up here if he wanted to. I like that option if clearance is there. Looks like the black is pretty available. It's also, since Darren is getting closer, has an ability to maybe play a different snooker, but I think CC is going to be firing here. Play for pink, black has plenty of options. It's going to just spot the brown and play the brown. Needs this to hold up a bit. I think be a big moment for CC if he's able to clear up here, because keeps Darren in the chair. That momentum will be fully in his favor for the decider.
Which, barring a few snookers from Darren. I think we are going to be going there. CC just having a glance up at the scoreboard.
Yeah, TK called it brown. Makes sense. Or frame ball. Spicy match we have here. I think he's opt to maybe take the pink into the middle, or just want to roll up on it. I think he's firing away. Just gotta be careful with any in-offs. Okay, a bit of a natural defense. Leaves the...
Just a subtle opening. He does have the snooker. So Darren just getting some clarification from referee Daly.
Uh-oh, this might be black in. Oof, very close. Well, managed to lay a snooker here, but not easy. Sorry, I guess that was a bit more of a trivial escape, you could say. But not easy to lay a tough one for Darren. But I think Darren has the option. He's going to try to grind this frame down. Maybe tire CC out, get him off his rhythm for the last frame. That's why it would have been pretty crucial, I think, CC able to clear up there. It would have been frame match point onto the next one.
Yeah, so 36 in it. Darren does need 3 snookers. So sometimes when you need the 3 snookers, in fact, you need 6 or 7.
Yeah, to force the 3 fouls, yeah. I think, though, it's, like we said, it's not... This Darren coming to the table is not necessarily about trying to really win this frame. I think it's more about trying to grind down his opponent and wear him out and slow him down, because momentum definitely has shifted pretty drastically. This might leave a pot on into the yellow pocket, or the green pocket, I mean. I think he might have just taken away the cutting angle. Looks awfully close. Yeah, David Brock, right? I think he can believe he'll win now. If he gets to a decider. Anyone's game. Alright, gonna chew 2 cushions in behind the yellow. Doesn't want to get too close to the brown, because it could mean difficult snooker. Playing the blue.
Very nice snooker.
Got good speed, yep. I think this is an example of a sort of the dark arts of the game. I'm getting an update that I think folks saying CC should be on 60. We'll check the replay, but I think so far both players. Oh wow,
Good hit.
lovely touch.
Good hit.
It'll be difficult, but I'll try to wave down referee Daly and see.
It is possible, but you know, both players and referee have agreed that it looks like the score is correct. So I don't think there's anything that can be really done here.
See if I can tell referee Daly. Okay, got it.
Got a little.
Sounds like it's a scoreboard issue.
It's all.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so everyone is aware that there's one more point in CC's favor. He does have 60 there. Just a little hiccup in our tablets for our scoring system.
Yeah, referee Daly's just saying the tablet's not letting them score the 60 towards CC, but both players just acknowledged that in the room we're keeping it as 60 to 25, so there's a 35-point difference in this one.
All CC needs to do is kind of just roll this there.
Yeah, this is a roll up, just put it in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's going for the pot there. Wow. Great shot. That'll work too. I would say you're allowed to shoot it at pace if you make it.
Definitely. Nice to see our friend in the chat, 570 Megan's on their way over. Be good to say hello.
Very
See you in person.
Like we said, Darren Bean down here. A lot of snookers left. It's not going to be about... It's going to be about the momentum shift in this match. If he can elongate the game, it seems like he'll play toward his favor. Because he wants it to go the distance in the long one.
CC a little bit cocking his head off camera there. He's wondering why Darren is continuing to play on.
I think it's
4 snookers and a clearance.
It's really only because this blue and black are tied up as well. It's going to mean the frame can go even longer because after they play safety on this brown for a bit.
Perhaps maybe the one hiccup feeling is that black is really in the jaws of the yellow pocket, so maybe Darren's hoping for a deflection and the cue ball will cannon into that black and put it into the pocket.
Yeah.
There's another long pot for CC.
I think if you're CC though, just like you said, just keep rolling the ball into the hole. You want to get out of this frame as quickly as possible and get on to the next one because
Jay, thanks for tuning in from the land of orange over there in the Netherlands. Did have Ernest Bezemer, who was, I think, an under 14 national snooker champion in Holland. So good to see Ernest coming all the way over from Houston.
uh-oh, dreaded double kiss. The DDK as I call it.
It's got friends in Morocco's, and yeah, double kisses are only good in France. Don't know if we have any French viewers. Probably a few, I think, are tuning in from the Belle Province of Quebec up in Canada.
Yeah, just roll this in. Get the blue out of the area near the black.
Definitely that should do it.
Imagine so, but
And that's a nod of the head, so that's a concession, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go to a decider in this semifinal match against CCU versus Darren Taylor. So stand by as Dave Daly sets up the frame. We will come right back with this exciting deciding frame. All right, here we go. Both players have given each other a good fist pump. We're underway in this deciding frame of the semifinal. Who will meet Stephen Wong in the final of this 2023 United States National Snooker Championship? As we see that Stephen Wong actually is watching the stream in the chat room. I'm pretty sure he's hoping for a pretty 5-hour frame here. Just wear out both of these players.
Yeah. Saying good luck to both players. I'm sure he's nearby somewhere, checking in on the stream. We're slotted to start at 2 p.m., which is in about an hour and a half. So I think either way, players going to get probably some time for break. Wow, the plant. Incredible. And the cannon on the brown. Wave of the hand. He's in with a shot, I think. Looks a little bit straight on this brown here. He's going to have to jack up a bit. Avoid the push shot. Try to screw back a bit, maybe. Yeah, kind of pop the cue ball off the table slightly to avoid the double hit.
So CC first in. Let's see what he can do. Black goes to both top corner pockets.
This is a shot right here that'll tell you how CC's feeling. It's kind of off angle cut, play for the blue or bulk cushion or bulk color. Long down the rail shot. That tells me he's feeling pretty good. He's got a chance. He's got the chance he's worked for all match long right here. Playing to miss, slight cannon on the yellow. It's going to come a little bit far. Don't know if he has this cut in the loose red. It tells me, based on body language, is possibly yes. It's another massive shot. Excellent pot there. But a little bit too fast.
Yeah, I just wanted to pull up a little bit.
Scratch of the head. I think he's going to have to play a safety now. There's a chance for cross double as well, but not worth it.
You don't want to force anything. Sometimes you just got to play the defensive shot in this game. You've always got to have that switch in your brain. When to attack, when to pull back.
Doesn't want to leave a pot on here. This could be disastrous. Uh-oh. And black's still available.
Just in hit there. Wanted to just roll into the pack of reds there ever so gently.
Yeah.
Pink's away from the pack.
Just a little bit too much slide off that cushion.
So CC with another chance.
Not bad there. There was option as well to play for black or pink, but not really many reds on, so we're going to have to see a split of the pack here. It's a tough blue to cut in. Don't take your eye off the pot. He's playing the loose red instead. I like this. Just came a little bit short. Risky cut here if he takes this on. The back cut is, I think, a little bit too severe. Maybe had he rolled another ball length to the left, might be an opportunity, but I think he's got to play the safe. Pressure's all on Darren now. He's got the momentum on his side, CC. Get coverage on this loose red. Not quite.
Just gonna open up some reds.
Yeah.
So game on. Whoever falters first on this safety exchange is gonna probably let their opponents have a good chance at getting the frame. It is a decider, so you do have to battle with that other thing called nerves. Pressure can be immense.
An awfully thin cut there. Doesn't want the cannon on the yellow. Not too bad. Now with that yellow tighter to the bulk cushion, nice little area to hide behind these brown-yellow wall. A lot more blockers. Wonder if that'll come in play. Uh-oh.
Didn't want that cannon into that red. Ouch, that hurts. CC can... that closest red that he has. Just trickle it into the top left corner. Get the black into the opposite corner. Get it back on its spot. Coming up for the pink, okay. Yeah, you know, that's one of the first practice sessions or exercises you do when you start this game is pretty much put the black on its spot, pot it in, bring up the black, and keep potting blacks off its spot from wherever you land up with your cue ball.
Yeah, it looks like pink's going to be available to left middle and right corner. Eathlum, I think video seems to be working fine for me. Might want to check, just refresh your page. Oh, wow, just kind of turned his shoulder into that one and mishit that completely. This could be a disaster for CC. Now the chance for Darren. Yikes. It's got to be the pressures are mounting now.
Yes, Paul, they do have pool tables and they also have Chinese 8-ball tables in this club.
Not hitting it perfectly center in the pocket there, but
This is what's so tough about this game as well. He had a great opportunity, CC did, and then he just misses that shot, and so he's probably just reeling in his chair because now his opponent has a great opportunity to nab this frame.
oof. Almost cannoned into the pink, but he's got a shot. This left red of the bunch, the 3 in the bunch next to the pink, goes to left middle. Oh no. I think he's missed that pot. Past couple of times he's shot at it. Maybe
Pressure is a strange thing.
he's missed it, I think, to the same part of the pocket. On the opposite side as well. I think a frame ago or 2 frames ago we saw a similar shot to that, a couple shots. Massive opportunity for CC. It's gonna go betwixt and between, like you said. This frame definitely not over yet. I think he was possibly playing for pink to left middle at that pace, or black to the right corner. Just landed in the only part of the table where it didn't have either.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to come down to a battle of nerves. Who can rein it in the best? Who's going to take this match?
Mickey's saying doesn't think that they're actually under pressure anymore. Thinks it's mostly fatigue.
So yeah, definitely mental exhaustion is there. Does this red pass that blue to go into the top right corner? I think it does.
He's looking for the middle pocket as well. It's a big shot here.
Definitely, so he's taking it to the middle.
The pot's there.
That
And
was
the cue
pressure.
ball escapes the jaws of the left corner. It just got off our screen there. Green is on though. Looks like CC's got 4 or so loose reds. Maybe even the one on the bottom cushion. Or the top, along the top cushion, sorry.
Oh,
Seen him miss these pots that he's been knocking in all match long. It's got to be a mix of everything.
Roller coaster ride of a deciding frame. One of the finer things in sports. You just can't beat it.
Got Sargon Isaac in the chat. He just was in the booth earlier. So he has a safe drive home. Each one of these reds massive. Oh no.
What?
Did not see that coming.
Hmm.
Wonder what he was exactly trying to do. Maybe break out one of those balls, or didn't get quite enough low on the cue ball. Black seemed available if he was able to hold it. Now pink is over the pocket, so risky here. I think if CC gets one of these reds, tries to surmount more points, this could be disaster.
Yeah, shot to nothing is definitely on.
Oof, wow. He's gonna have a look at this pink into the left middle though. I think it's close. Oh, just rolled a bit far. It's a bit of a risky shot here, but if you can cut this, chop this pink in, this cue ball is going to be hitting straight toward that bunch of reds down by the black spot. And it could really open everything up, so big risk here. risk reward. Yeah, caught it thick. That was always the issue. And now a chance for Darren. I think he just came a
Just
little
a
too far.
testament to how tough these pockets are on the TV table, on the TV screens. It definitely looks like it's a walk in the park, those shots, but when you're in the semifinal of a national championship,
Wow.
everything is missable.
Another pot to this left middle that was missed earlier from Darren. See if he has it. Did catch it on the thick part of the pocket. I think he's overcompensated there. Yep. As we saw, he keeps hitting the far point. There, just about a ball or so. Overcut. Wonder if that is sort of placed a plot of real estate in his mind now, and could that be the last big mistake? He's got a black opportunity here. Problem is, it will cluster this red closest to the black spot. Opting to play the high ball, probably going to play the red along the right cushion next. If he sinks this, just overcut it though. You can feel the tension in the room. Great pot from Darren. Pink is on. Does he have enough left in the tank to put on a break here? That was a massive miss from CC on that black. Not only would have given him a further point lead, but would have had a chance to go for any of these reds. Huge opportunity for Darren.
Yeah, you don't really want to gift your opponent the chance. You want to make them work for it.
Is this falling short? No, I think he's just there.
Lonely place off the snooker table. Just CC hoping for one more chance. But I think we're going to get down to the colors.
Who would have thought?
I think you predicted this maybe in the fourth frame, Christian.
Colors? Did
No,
I say that?
decider.
Oh, decider. Oh, yeah.
15.
Every pot from here on out, massive. Massive. Great shot there. Last red is out in the open. I think the only part of this table that might pose a threat is this yellow-green situation up table, but I think the yellow does pass. And if not, you imagine Darren would take the prudent shot and clear up the green to open up the pocket. No, it really looks like it goes either way, so huge shot this with the rest. Doesn't want to be on the cushion.
Okay, can follow this brown through. Yellow goes into its own pocket.
Balls are all there.
It was like this last night for him. It was there for him to take him. Did an in-off off the blue. But luckily for him, Renat couldn't capitalize. And the blue, pink, and black are on their spots. And that's going to be very advantageous to him if he gets to that point. Because these guys, players I should say, practice those runouts of all the colors on the spots numerous and numerous times.
Actually come a bit short here. Might have to jack up and stop this cue ball, or play forward and play the green to the right corner. It's not over yet, but the opportunity is there for the taking for Darren. I like this, getting close to the green. You can really control the white. cut it exactly how you want.
Yeah, this one has pressure.
Simple stunt shot. Slight follow. Massive. Massive shot. Rattles home.
Wow. Appreciation by CC there.
This is the chance.
Needs the blue and brown.
It's in the hole. It's a little bit steeper on this blue than I would like, but... And this is pressure. It's gonna...
Just glancing at the scoreboard, see what he needs to do. 18 the difference, or 16 the difference. And 18 on the table.
Frame ball there.
It's there.
And this
Just-
pink. This is it.
Pink finds the bottom of the pocket. We're going to find Darren Taylor in the final of this 2023 United States National Snooker Championship to battle Stephen Wong. Calm his nerves. Can he do it? And it's there.
And he
Fought off
sinks it.
another fight back. Wow. Impressive. Darren, who's been up against it in his quarterfinal, definitely in his season. He's definitely earning his spot in the final. Can you believe it? That was one fantastic match there. And we got one more to go in this 2023 United States National Snooker Championship. We're at Embassy Billiards
Wow.
in St. Gabriel, California.
Wow.
Our final will be going at 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So we're going to step aside. Hopefully you all can grab some lunch, some dinner, cool drink, wherever you are in the world watching us. Come back in an hour's time and we'll be ready to rock for the finals. Thank you, everybody. David Burney, Christian Younger saying, see you soon.
Amazing.